How do everyone? It's Friday. I hope you are well, you beautiful, sexy people that you are. Hope you are well, as I just said. I mean, I'll repeat myself, bugger it. It's not the Jack Daniels, I've only had the one. However, guys, thank you for tuning in. We are here again on Turf Moor House TV. I'm Dan as usual, and I will have a couple of guests come in to review this. Well, not review, but give us their predictions for this weekend's results, games. God, I'm starting already. It's only going to get worse, so do stay tuned. If you are new around here, please do subscribe to the channel. As I say, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. All you have to do is search Turf Moor House, as it says right above my head, wrong hand. And you can also check us out on podcast platforms on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. So please do that. We are also now on TikTok as well. Would you believe it? We're delving into this modern universe that everybody calls TikTok. So we are delving into that with a couple of Burnley videos, but there will be some of the funny things that are going to be cut out of these shows and potentially put on there as well. Nothing too vulgar, because I know how this can get, but we are gonna tone it down. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But first up, we'll take a couple of comments before we get the guests in. And the missus is in, as per usual. Remember to smash the likes, comment and sub. New channel at 500. So if you are new around here, I did do the one chip challenge at 300 subscribers. And I am going to do that new challenge if it gets to 500. It may be for charity as well. So it will be going to a good cause if we can raise some money for that. And the fact that she says I deserve more than that. I mean, the shouting I get when I'm saying, are you editing again? You know we're going out. Get ready. Come on. Make a move. I can see her already about to write a comment just to the left of me. Mark Green, evening. Big up. Smash the likes. Thanks for the support on my channel recently, Dan, mate. You deserve every sub. Mark, you're doing absolutely cracking on your channel. Everybody in here, please do go and check out Mark's channel as well. Absolute cracking content creator. Does a lot about darts as well if you're really into your darts. So do go check him out as well. The missus says, hi, boys and girls, if there is any. Scott says, hello all. Hope you're all okay. Everybody is well, Scott. We are all good. Well, thank you, Daniel. Sexy people. Exactly. Mark says, put your teeth in. Trust me, you don't have to tell me twice in Burnley. I mean, you say the wrong thing around Burnley, and someone will put your teeth in a different context. Anyway, Mark, put it that way. But let's bring our guests in, shall we? I mean, he's an ever-present. He's always here, but I wouldn't have it any other way because it's the only time I get to see my dad now. He pissed off down south. So here we have here he is, Chris Forian, the legend that is, who's just sat.
Oh, sorry, you finished. Sorry.
It starts already.
While I was waiting, I just read 2 chapters while I was waiting. I thought it could be a while there. I'll get my book out. How the devil are you, salad fingers?
I'm all right, pal. But no, how are you, Chris? How are you doing?
I'm very well, because I haven't got a neighbour that smashes my car in.
No, that is true. That is true.
And then messages his dad at like 3 o'clock in the bloody morning to tell him, "Are you awake?" Because I wasn't fucking awake, mate. Yeah, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, for God's sake.
After it all happened, I was sat down here and I messaged, and for everyone watching, I messaged Chris going, "Can't believe it. Neighbours up to all tricks again. Car's been smashed in. All this shit's happening." I'm like, "Dad, I need to tell you.
No, but before that, you put, "Are you awake?" And I was dozing off until my phone went bing next to me. I thought, well, at this time, it must be an emergency. Oh, no, it was Dan with his daily life of what it is to be a Dingles family in Burnley. Good evening.
There's always one. I mean, Chris, thank you again for coming on. Really does mean a lot.
It's community service. I'm obliged to.
Don't worry. Your community service will stop at some point.
Well, I have not got long to go, thankfully. I got less for kicking a cat, I'll tell you.
Well, that's true. That is true. I mean, Leicester did well against Randers the other night, which I'm sure we will speak about not in a couple of minutes. But first and foremost, where can people find your stuff if they want to check your channel out?
Well, apart from on here, like you say, most of the time, Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Please give that a subscribe. Leicester at Leicester TID on the old Twitter sphere, and Leicester Till I Die 1 on Instagram. I am also on TikTok, but to be totally honest with you, I can't be bothered to do anything on it. It's too much hassle.
It is. To be fair, it's all like having to make it, you've got your normal videos and you're having to condense it, and half at time, the shot's out of shot and you've got to try. It's aggravating. But I totally
Instagram
understand.
have only just made it easy, so I've concentrated on Instagram. Yes.
No, fair play. A couple of comments before we bring our special guest in. Mella is claret and blue. I like that. Claret and blue Watford badge. Hello, Dan. Burnley is my second favourite Prem team because of Dash and Vidra. I will take that.
They won't be.
I will take that. Hey, he's counting his chickens, is Mella. So if at least Watford or Burnley stay up, he's got one team to at least support. However, both are destined for the drop, I think.
I think they are. I think you both are. At least you can keep each other company in the long, cold nights.
Well, we can. At least when we go down
on a Tuesday night in January, you can keep each other company.
When we go down, though, if Ben Foster renews his contract, at least then we'll have a nice YouTube video of Ben Foster at Turfmoor next season. So the Cycling GK will be doing his stuff. The Cyber leader says, "Hey Dan, how you doing, mate? Hope you are well. You still think Norwich will go down?" I think so. I think the bubble will burst eventually. I just think at the moment, while they're on that run, why not? But I think they've got Liverpool this weekend, so that should be interesting. Should be very, very interesting. The missus says, not shouting, he's dramatic. He's more interested in the editing than actually getting dressed so he can leave. Hence why he deserves the subs. See, that's dedication. I will happily lie there, swing us out, editing, then getting ready to go out for a day.
What out?
The old what were it called? The old Nutcracker.
It started already, hasn't it?
I have. As Mark says, community service begins. Hey, Mark. Yeah. Another 10-month stretch inside of good behaviour, and you might get community service. But keep that behaviour. Don't go wrapping them metal dinner trays round inmates' heads. Otherwise, it may cost you.
Nice one, mate.
Kate, did you hear about Dan and Happy Hammerette? Yeah, Chris recently went on a channel to talk about Leicester and West Ham, and I got speaking to the guys over on that West Ham channel, and I started talking about Crocs and stuff about one of the guys on there called Duke.
Oh. Duke, no, that's it, Duke, yes.
And there was a person on there called Happy Hammerette who was like, "Oh, this is so funny," and they were like, "Why is she not flirting with us? Why is she flirting with Dan in the comments?"
She probably just saw the claret and blue and couldn't work out the difference.
No, that's true. Kate was watching, and yeah, she did stir the pot off camera as well.
Stirring the pot, never.
Scott says, to be fair, Chris, it was an emergency for asking news from Dan. Please beat Newcastle tomorrow because you beat us. Ugly deflection. Mark Green, if they want to check him out. Nippen's in already. He's nice and early. Nippen's in saying, hi, big up to yourself, Nippen. Thank you for tuning in.
Nippen, have you come in to check on your local rivals?
He says, "How the devil are you?" Of course, Chris. You need to copyright that, mate. You need to get in touch with somebody.
I'm getting a sweatshirt with it on, mate.
Hey, I want one. I want it signed, Chris. I want it signed.
I get the commission.
Buy it, man. The leader says, "We'll try and beat Newcastle. I think we will." Jack Mack says, "All right, gents, how are we? Hope you've all had a great day. It's been good. It's been half term. Been getting out and about with the kids, doing stuff, taking them to museums, trying to give them some sort of, not just taking them to the park and letting them play, showing them a bit of history and stuff." So I thought
that was being kept a long while. Poor Niall, taking his dog for a walk by now.
We will bring him in. Kate says, "What happened to toning it down? It's not Chris, it's you, Daniel."
Thank you. That's getting clipped. Thank you, Kate. She knows. Kate knows, you know. She's a very clever woman, that Kate.
How's the weather up there? It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Went out not so long ago, went up to the Aslington Halo. I don't know if any of you has heard of it. Sort of like shape of like a halo / UFO sort of type thing. Went up there. There were a couple of cars up there with steam windows that were questionable. However, went up there and the wind is that horrendous. Flaming Storm Eunice is doing her bit. I couldn't even climb out the car. The door were basically trying to shut me in.
You should have gone to the singing ringing tree.
Oh,
I bet that was singing and ringing very loud.
Oh, just a bit. I'll be after one or two more of these as well, Chris. Talk says, evening. Hope you are well, Talk. Tab says, yeah.
Talk's still alive.
Yeah, Watford and Norwich do seem to be going down. Hopefully we don't, but it will be difficult. Yeah, it will be. Doug says, hello, father and son. It's not time to make a change. Just relax. Take it easy. You're still young. That's your fun.
Doug, while you're here, because I didn't get a chance to put one in your channel earlier, but I did a show last night. I don't know if you saw it. It was at the fertility clinic. I got a standing ovulation.
Hey. Hey, Chris says evening. Another Chris in the house. We will go for a few more comments. I will get a few more comments in, but we will bring our other guest in as well. He's probably about 4 cans deep now.
He's sat there 2 hours.
Now's probably about 4 cans deep now. Them tenants go down like a duck to water. So Niall is in the house. How the hell are you doing now? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Can I just say now, well done for hanging on, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me on for my debut in the channel, Daniel. Thanks very much, mate.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a barrel of laughs. Nippers says the red and white shark in N5. Oh, Nippon, is this another one of your dodgy rivals, shall we say?
Sandbox.
Yeah. he's thinking of Sunderland, and he's in there his local rivals.
Hey, how far he bloody travels, it probably is. Antarctica,
exactly, yeah.
FC Santa Claus one of them.
FC Fart for you. Can I just say, for viewers watching, the only one that's being sensible and having a non-alcoholic drink while he's on air.
Don't know what you mean.
That's beer. That's alcoholic.
It's not.
Yeah, 2 alcoholic drinks.
No, it's not.
And Dan's just made sure that this can't be published to children.
See, you saw the writing on Niall's cans there. He's got 2 cans of tea. 2 cans of tea.
What did it say? Sorry, I didn't see what it said.
It just has a tea letter on it for tenants, but I'm just saying he's got 2 cans of tea.
I can't turn that in, man. Right, here we go.
Good old
Is that what you live in Scotland? Oh, no, that's tenements, isn't it? Can I just say, for those viewers that other alcoholic drinks are available.
That one's a bit strong. That one's going to send me a bit loopy before the predictions. I'll tell you that for free. Put your money away.
God, we struggle when we're sober, mate.
Jack Mack says, yeah, of course.
Jack, were you the Jack that I did the quiz against me when it was unfair because there was 2 of you against little old me?
It will be. It will be.
Chris Welch to a tie break.
Chris Welch says, hope you're both well. All 3 of us are well, Chris. We're all good.
Mate. Oh, well, mate.
Everything is good. The Cyberley says, I'm going London Zoo tomorrow. Are they putting you back? Or are you just going for a visit?
Are you going to Edinburgh?
Tab says, we score a few more goals and have a team free fall to us, then who knows? You know what? Tomorrow's game against Brighton is one of them where Brighton will panic. Brighton will panic because we're going to go to teams, or teams are going to come to us and they're going to start thinking, are we that team that Burnley are finally going to get a win against? You know, and things like that. It's very difficult. Mark says, he's reading his Motherwell history book, Chris. Dan's behaving. I'm on your side, Dan. Well said, Jack. Well said. Mark says, Eunice is blowing you. Brush says, big up to yourself, Brush. Thank you for tuning in.
Popcorn gang, hit that like button.
Scott says,
We'll
Dan,
got
did you
popcorn
learn
and popcorn.
anything at the museums, or has Kate had to make notes for you to take the information in? To be fair, Scott,
That's a good one, I
it
like
was.
that one.
We went to the Science and Industry Museum in Manchester. It was pretty good. It was relatively good. Today we went to Gordon Riggs over in Old Todmorden, and we went and did a bit of arts and crafts with the kids, which was good as well.
This is top sightseeing for Lancashire, I tell you.
There's not much else. Kate said Daniel's visited that singing ringing tree one too many times. Yep.
It's
I mean,
bloody awful. It's we drove all the way once with the kids because we didn't know what else to do because there's nothing to do in Lancashire. I got there and this is it. We were there 2 minutes, looked at it. There wasn't much wind, so there wasn't any noise. Drove home again.
She's got a point, though. I have visited it quite too much. I mean, when you are the vice chairman of the Lancashire Doggers Association, it is quite it's quite a frequent visit up there. So
and they call it puppy love.
Sav says Everton, Leeds, or the like are going to have a terrible second half of the season for us to sniff. Yeah, we are going to expect new teams to drop some points. We definitely are. Have you ever been to London Zoo? And no, I lived there for first couple of years of my life when I were a chimp. More of an orangutan, way I've got ginger hair all over my body anyway, and a red arse. Jack says, I've ended up in Goodison Park today with that wind. Well, at least you've gone
to decent ground then, Jack.
You've gone to the stadium you should have had if Everton had kept hold of Anfield, Jack.
I'll try me over.
Yeah. You can touch the lemurs, do you know? Do you know, okay? Tab says, realistically need 4 points out of the next 3 fixtures. Correct. Lovely product placement. I still got beat. Anyone that can beat City, I'm getting a season ticket.
Okay.
Mark says, I didn't know Kate had been renamed to Eunice. The list goes on. Yes, I did. I did do some arts and crafts. I thought, well, if the kids are painting, so am I. Why not?
We can't with your colouring book and build up things, yeah.
But you weren't supposed to strip off for them and be the nude model, Dan. They were kids after all. Come on.
No, to be fair, because of the weather, a lot of people had cancelled. So when we went, it was literally me, Kate, Esme, Skylar, and Mason, and we all went in, and there was literally like nobody there apart from the bloke that were running the actual course thing. And then just as we'd finished doing all the arts and crafts, this other mum and dad and daughter came in. So we were just like, see you in a bit, one in, one out. But
you weren't going to have the weather stop you getting to the Arts and Crafts Museum, were you?
No.
You were fighting through. They could have made a film about that, couldn't they?
Hey, I'm in Bradford tomorrow. At the Science and Media Museum. At the Science and Media Museum tomorrow. So,
do you remember Art Attack? Neil Buchanan.
Oh yes, Neil Buchanan, Art Attack.
Smart. Mark Spate and Jay and Cufting and all them, yeah.
Yeah, God, I do remember them. Hey, to be fair, at this science and media thing, it's got old BBC programs. So you've got like a model village of the Wombles, and you've got Zippy and George and stuff like that.
I love the Wombles. I love the Wombles. They were brilliant.
Underground, Womble in free. The Womble, the Wimbledon, come and we.
What's your story about?
We will talk Premier League soon, I promise.
Okay, I promise.
Mark says, you'll sack your manager before you play us, the usual Watford way. Kate said the Wombles were so good. Jack says, I think the Wombles
fall over and kick their legs in the air.
That comment is brilliant. The centre-back pairing. They are the centre-back pairing, the Wombles. You've got
What
You've got
about
Harry Maguire and Uncle Bulgaria playing at
Well, that was
centre back.
Weebles. Do you remember Weebles? Wobble, but they don't fall down.
Do you remember Thimbles or the Twingies or the Teletubbies? Sorry.
Oh, I used to love Rainbow. Rainbow of quality.
Do you know? I just heard. Do you know why the Wombles are called Wombles?
No.
Because when they collect the rubbish, they can only collect enough to put into one bowl.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Chris, you were old enough to remember Pinky and Perky, weren't you?
Don't even
I
know who
was.
that is. I don't even know who they are.
You don't know what Pinky and Perky is? God, I
Nope.
was born ahead of my time. I'm telling you now. Pinky and Perky were pretty much what the modern day Alvin and the Chipmunks were, but back then it was Pinky and Perky.
Yeah.
The Flower Pot Men, Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men were better.
I know who
Hey,
they are.
Chris, you had some quality programs. You had Pigeon Street.
If only you knew it. Not for us, the stupid Teletubbies.
There was Pigeon Street, weren't there? There were.
I don't know what's that. I overheard Bill and Ben talking once. Bill turned around to Ben and said, blah, 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 blah. Ben says, shut up, you pissed.
Matt
Sorry,
says
you won't get that because you don't remember them. But,
Matt says weekly sing along featuring Chris.
Oh, yes. This is
Chris,
better than that. Well, what Dan said was Babe Station music. Too many people recognise it.
We might get the Babe Station music out at some point.
Yeah, you never know, mate. Babe Station.
Everyone loves to troll us in it. We sacked Ollie, by the way. Yeah, I agree. All right. When the off-topic avoidance Daniel wanted to avoid is starting before the actual show instead of the end. She's hit the point on the end. I'll tell you what, we will crack into it. We will crack on with the Premier League predictions. I mean, first and foremost, Niall, as a guest, thank you for coming in. Absolutely cracking to finally get you on the channel as well. And I hope you're really up for a laugh tonight. It's a Friday night. Let's enjoy ourselves. Bugger it. Where can people find you? Where can people find you to get you on their shows?
He's been in 25 minutes and you're finally asking him.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you can find me anywhere you want. A local car park, like a shop shop, or CCTV cameras, or crime watch. Nah, you can find me on my Twitter handle, which is somewhere at Niall Kane 91, Instagram Niall_Kane, Facebook Niall Kane, Twitch Niall Kane 91. But I'm on TikTok as well, but I don't really use it.
No, fair point. Now, I just want to address something before we start, because a lot of people, I will go on other channels. I've been on Chris's channel, and a lot of people say that there's a similarity between me and Ed Sheeran. Now, I'm not saying that there is. However, I feel I can go one better, and I feel that there is one better in terms of lookalike it for myself. Now, that one's pretty good. I get that.
Yeah, that is good.
However, I think this one's perfect.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I mean,
are you on the right?
Hold on a minute. The resemblance is so uncanny. No, I'm on the left because the one on the right's got circular glasses. Mine are more rectangular.
You call them moobs? That's playing at moobs, mate. You want to? That's nothing.
Hey, that's it. I might look like a big lad, but I'm like David Unsworth. I'm like David Unsworth. Bill. I'm just built up, but not a tubby lad. I'm not Neville Southall, Chris. I'm not Neville Southall.
That pig looks a bit like a flying pig, a wee bit.
Kate says, "Sake." Jack says, "Sexy man." And then he says it's his new screensaver. Mark says, "Sake, is that your Tinder profile pic?" I do not have Tinder, as Kate has said.
His gaydar profile pic.
If he's got Tinder, the chop is happening. Exactly. And as Ducky says, my mate over in Fleetwood, I hope you're well, Ducky. Thank you for coming in. A bit offensive to pigs, that. You cheeky bastard.
You cheeky little bastard.
Right. It's the Premier League predictions. It's going to be a big weekend in the Premier League. And first and foremost, we have the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. And it starts with West Ham versus Newcastle. And now I'll come...
Which is the home team?
Newcastle, isn't
it? So just before nipping out, I wanted just to clear that point up for him.
But no, honestly, it's 12:30 kickoff. Never back the early kickoff. We all know that. Never back the early kickoff if you like a punt on football. It's West Ham against Newcastle. Two teams that you couldn't really predict really at the moment. Newcastle have been on a run of form. West Ham are still in there for the hunt for top four. Now I'll come to you first. How do you see this game going in terms of, who's going to bag the result, and how do you think it's going to fare in under 90 minutes?
For me, West Ham are in a bit of off form, like free-fall kind of way, because you didn't make any signings during the deadline day, which happened about a month or so ago. So Newcastle are on the back of 2 wins over Leeds United and Aston Villa. I know Kieran Trippier is out for like a few weeks, if not months, with a bone in his foot, which we call clicking into place for Newcastle. Because I think they'll stay up now. On that note, in terms of this game, I'm going for Newcastle to win 2-0 for because I think
going for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Fair play. I mean, they are on a run of form, Chris, and Newcastle at the moment. The dirty bastards have bought their way out of it. I mean, they've gladly give us 25 million for that cart horse there.
Can I just say 2 things? It's taken 25 minutes to get to the first game, so that's going to be a record.
Honestly, what does that say about this channel, Chris? What does that say about this channel?
And as the joint leader in your prediction league at the moment, which you have failed to mention, but I thought
I weren't going to mention it yet. I was going to wait until the beginning of March.
I mean, Kate and me, we're out there in front. Where are you, Dan?
Bottom.
Yes. Well, if your football team and you. No, I mean, okay, yes, they've bought themselves out of trouble, but if that company had bought Burnley, would you be complaining? You wouldn't, would you?
No. You asked me that. You asked me that, and I told you wholeheartedly, no, I wouldn't. If the shoe were on the other foot, I'd be the same. Saying exactly the same. So, I
mean, they've had 3 wins on a trot. They've got some good buys. Yes, they've had injuries, but we've all got injuries. I mean, it's all about money now. It's just different degrees of money, Horse Bandit, something like that famous player. But West Ham, I'd love to see them break into the top 4. If it's not going to be us, I want it to be sort of another so-called Big Six club. Sorry, Niall, but I like to see these other teams break that glass ceiling. However, I think Newcastle are they're just on such a run at the moment. Their confidence is brimming. Like Niall said, West Ham are maybe slipping away. I've got this as a draw.
Chris has gone for a draw. I mean, it's definitely a tough one to call. If you're putting money on it with the bookies, I wouldn't touch
most games are this season, aren't they?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. I would like to add as well, before we do go any further with these games, due to the weather, there could be some postponements. However, as things currently stand, all games are set to go ahead, so we will be predicting them in this video. You know what? I just think, and I'm not just saying it because I've got the claret tinted glasses on. I do think that West Ham are going to win this. I think they're going to give Newcastle a sort of, welcome back to earth sort of thing, just because you've got a few results behind you. The loss of Kieran Trippier is massive. The last 2 results they've had is pretty much due to Trippier's input in that side. So I feel that, that's what I mean. I mean, you take a player like that out. I absolutely adore Trippier. When he was wearing claret and blue for Burnley, that guy was absolutely outstanding. To see him at Newcastle hurt, and it does hurt. if he was to come back to Burnley at any time, welcomed with open arms. But because he's gone back there at the moment, it's sort of like it kills you a little bit. But I did say to you, Chris, didn't I? I did say to you that, I don't wish injuries on people because Kieran Trippier has been a godsend, while he was at Burnley. But however, while he's at Newcastle and he's out injured, it's the perfect opportunity for the teams around Newcastle to potentially pick up points. So, yeah, based on that result, I am going to go for West Ham in this game. Tab says it's to the point where I have to pick the result that will help us the most. Newcastle really doesn't seem destined to drop, but still, the more they lose, the better for us. 2-1 West Ham. I'll take that every day of the week. But nice, easy one to start with. West Ham against Newcastle. Next up, two teams sort of not really ripping it up in the league. I mean, Brentford are being dragged into the relegation zone again. Not into the relegation zone, but into that, course of teams in that bottom half. Arsenal are starting to slip a little bit. I mean, now I'll come to you. Can you see Arsenal absolutely tearing Brentford a new arsehole, or is this where Brentford, surprise you really and go to the Emirates and get a result?
To be honest, I don't think it'll be like an actual cricket score type of game because I know at the start of the season, the opening game of the season, Brentford did beat Arsenal 2-0 in their own backyard. Brentford did have injuries for Ivan Toney in the first place, so and Brentford have just had a purple patch and have dragged himself into the relegation dogfight amongst other teams. So, as for Arsenal, they've been like a hit and a miss, like the lose games, the win games. Aubameyang, who was stripped off the captaincy, went on loan to Barcelona, and I don't think Arsenal have got an out-and-out goal scoring striker. So on that note, I think Arsenal will just win this 2-0.
So you're going for Arsenal, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. Chris, I mean, this is a game Arsenal should be winning. It's a game Arsenal should be. I mean, you could argue that potentially Brentford have a chance if it was the other way around, when they have that mad 5 minutes of becoming world beaters at the end of a game. However, it's at the Emirates, and as much as Arsenal are dipping,
they're not dipping as much as Brentford. I love Brentford. Anybody that follows me knows that. I love these teams coming up and doing well. But unfortunately, I think Brentford have been found out sooner than most teams that have come up. I mean, obviously Norwich and Watford, everybody knows my feelings, and we'll come on to those later. But they're a good start. They haven't won in 5. They've lost 4 on the trot at least. And of course, Brentford won it the opening day of the season. So Arsenal will want to go out there and sock it to them. Arsenal, I mean, they've won 3 in 5. I've got this down as an Arsenal win. And that hurts me, to be honest with you. But I think Arsenal, I mean, they're a different team this season to what they were last season. Of course, they sat there in 6, say 3 wins in 5, only lost 1. I'm sorry, Brentford. It's another loss for you. I'm going Arsenal.
No, fair point. I mean, I think it's a full house, really. I think we'll all pretty much probably go for Arsenal in this. Oh no, you went for a draw. Did you go for a draw now?
No, I went for 2-0 with Arsenal.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, a full house really for Arsenal. Even Kate said she's going with Arsenal as well, since I'm taking her scores into her account. I might have to ask her to start putting my bets on as well, the fact she's up top at leaderboard with Chris.
Come on, Kate. Come on.
But yeah, I think I'll go with Arsenal. I mean, Ducky, you're brave. You are definitely brave there, going 2-0 Brentford. I mean, who knows? You could be the only one. You could be the only one in here that's gone for Brentford. So fair play to you for sticking your neck on the line with that. Tab says, yeah, hard not to take Arsenal. 2-0 we've gone for. Yeah, I can see it myself. Next game on the agenda is Aston Villa versus Watford. Now, we all know your hatred for Watford, Chris. And I'm sure, no doubt, you have a rant planned. You have got a script written out, a scroll.
I've just written this script there.
What's it say? Love being on top with Kate. You dirty bastard. I'll tell you what,
I love being on top with Kate more than I love being on bottom with you. You know what I mean?
I mean, now straight to you first. Aston Villa, so hit and miss under Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
Watford, however, Roy Hodgson, they've brought him in really to, steady the ship, keep them up, and then fingers crossed, take it from there. However, if he doesn't do that, I mean, don't know how many games he's going to get. We all know what Watford's like. It's pretty much, get rid of the manager for next to nothing. If he cuts his toenails, he could get sacked. How do you see this game going? Because, as I say, Aston Villa are a team that are banging form. They sort of grind a result out here and there. Watford are obviously, it's that second half of the season, the business end of the season, where they're screaming for results. Can you see them getting anything away at Villa Park?
No, I don't think Watford will get anything in that game because Aston Villa, since Gerrard came in, have played an exciting brand of attacking football with the signing of Felipe Coutinho, with Diang, left back, and can't remember who else they signed. No, I just think with Watford appointing Roy Hodgson, I can see that one going one way, and I think Aston Villa will win this 2-0.
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Kate's going for the draw. Ducky's gone for Villa to win 1-0. So did you say Villa 1-0 as well? Or 2-1, was it?
Who, me, sorry?
Yeah, what did you... 2-0.
Yeah.
Andrew says 3-1 to Aston Villans. Watford Pony Show. I like that. Matt says, not in form, however, they play brilliant under Gerrard. To be honest, mate, I've been watching Burnley play brilliant football, tiki-taka stuff in the last couple of games, but it's not got us results. So, you can play brilliant and still get beat. It's surprising. Scott says, surprise you, Chris. Can't stand them dirty villains. I mean... Chris, surely you're not going to go for Watford here.
No bloody way. Watford pissed off back to the Championship and stay down there. You come up, you've got owners that want to play at being football managers. This is the club that sacked a manager that with 3 games of the season to go, and he just got you out of the bottom 3 for the first time, I think it was that season, but he just got you out of the bottom 3. Nigel Pearson, you decided he said something you didn't like and you sacked him. And this is the owners of a team that went and got a manager who the season before that couldn't get Fulham up. So somewhere you think you're better than you are to the Watford owners. You come up, let somebody else come up and have a chance. You are just taking you're sucking the air out of the Premier League, Watford, and Norwich is just as bad. Get some decent owners in that are going to stick with the manager. Let him, to sack a manager when you've come up and you're in 12th place. That really worked well for you, hasn't it? That's been great for. What a good decision that was. And then, as I say, you followed them in with a manager who, in his last job in the UK, got Fulham relegated. I mean, just what a Watford playing at. Villa, I mean, under Gerrard, this season is almost a free kick for them, if you like, because they're not going to win anything. They're not going to get relegated. They may win a cup, who knows? But it's more about settling with Steven Gerrard in. He's going to be a great manager. I think we're all probably agreed on that. He's going to have more money to spend in January. He's still got, the remainder of the billion they got for Grealish. Great owners they've got there. I actually heard that one of their owners speaking on the radio a couple of weeks ago, and he spoke really well about football. And I really just hope they go and spank Watford 5-0 or something like that. I really do.
So you're going for Aston Villa?
I am indeed. You may be a surprise to you, but just the sooner everybody beat Watford, and then we can just get them relegated and carry on with the rest of the season ourselves.
Hey, you say that, go and beat Watford. They turned up at the Turf, no clean sheet all season. Welcome to Turf Moor. In fact,
wasn't
let's
that
roll out the
Roy's
red
first
carpet.
game or something?
It were, yeah, it were. So, I mean, I suppose in a way, new manager, they're going to put a performance in. However, we were shocking, to be fair. The conditions were sharp. Another game that's tough to call.
It's not.
I could potentially see Watford maybe stealing another point here. I could
How much of that Jack Daniels have you had? Did you have a bottle before you came on? You must be pissed, mate.
How many have you had?
No, I mean there is an empty bottle in the kitchen. However, it wasn't full when I took the last bits out of it.
Yeah.
But,
is it neat?
No, I did just have a swig of it, Nate, and all that. Sort of trying to hold it together. As Kate says there, Daniel is misbehaving. I'm not being funny.
I wonder what she was going to write.
When the listen, if a chef walks into your kitchen and he saw the ingredients on the table, that bastard's going to make you something, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's going to make you something.
Hey, can I just say, Kate, what did Daniel say after last week's show? Keep it clean. Let's just, let's be sensible. Let's not get silly. Let's talk about football. Mm-hmm. And he's led us astray, Kate, hasn't he?
That's the thing. It gets to a point where I feel like, you know what? It probably won't. So I may as well just let it take its course.
Mm-hmm. I think you're safe on this because YouTube yes, thank you, Kate. Thank you.
God.
Amazing woman that. You know
Chris,
what you're talking about. It makes me wonder why you're with Daniel, to be honest with you. But
yeah, it does. It does. You know what? When we come down to Brighton, Chris, why don't you make her a bed up for fuck's sake? Yeah, as Tab says, our game with Watford was in a monsoon. I'd take the point there. Yeah, the conditions were horrendous. I mean, could you imagine if Storm Eunice were in there as it is now? Absolutely shocking.
Yeah, it's been shocking here as well, mate. We've had a big thunderstorm recently, a few days ago.
Wow. Kate says, I'm here with my cup of tea. She is, to be fair. Here he is. Dick Cox. Richard Cox is in the house.
Richard, you left before you appeared in my quiz the other night.
Jake's daddy's back.
I'll find the question that had you in. Were you in when that was called out?
I did. I was.
Who was the real footballer?
I won't give anything away.
Ralph Minge or Chubby Cox. That's what and I did cover myself, and I did say that was not referring to Richard, didn't I?
You did.
I did.
Kate says, Daniel, are you going with a Watford win?
No. I don't think so. No.
As much as I can see Watford getting something in the game, however, I just think Aston Villa have got too much firepower, not just up front, but in midfield. I mean, even if Watkins were to, have a shit game, they could bring Danny Ings on, and we all know what as a Burnley fan, we know what Danny Ings is like for just being able to crop up with something out of nothing and probably grab a goal. Rich says, need a chauffeur tomorrow. So it's Chris, are you available? I mean, you live close by.
Too close. I'm moving. I didn't realise that they lived that close to me. I'm off. In fairness, Richard's okay. It's his son.
They've devalued me flat.
Yes.
Next
I tell you what, Richard, I'll drive you both there, but I'll leave you. Bring you back.
The next game, another 3:00 kickoff on Saturday, away at the Amex. Now, Burnley need to pick up points. We not just we, Burnley, we are us, you, we need to pick them up. However, Brighton this season have been in a, I spoke to a Brighton fan yesterday, and if people are in the chat, if you do want to check out the match preview, do check that out. It is on our channel. We did have Adam on from Together Brighton Hove Albion podcast, and he was absolutely fantastic. Great guest. Do check him out. And he was totally honest at the fact that, Brighton have a weakened back four. He said, and if Weghorst is fit enough, there's a very good chance that our forward three on their day will get something. However, with it being at the Amex, you probably would favour the home side, especially when you look at the table. Not being a fan of both clubs, you would say this is Brighton's game to win. But now, surely you're a man that likes to, look at how teams get on in the Premier League and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you just call him Shirley then?
No, I said now. And then I
said
said his middle name.
Shirley.
And then I said it's his middle name, Shirley.
Right.
My middle name, fucking off, Stephen.
It's what, Stephen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chris, have you got a middle name?
I have.
And that's how it's staying, isn't it?
You asked me the question, have I got a middle name? And the answer, it was a closed question. We needed a yes or no answer. And yes, I do.
Christopher, what is said middle name?
Well, as you ask, it's David.
David, nice. See, I'm named after me cockhead of a dad. I'm
David, that's in David Platt from Coronation Street.
My middle name's Robert. I'd like to make it sound more exotic and say Roberto, but no, I couldn't. I mean, I'm from Burnley. Can anything sound exotic? I mean, a Solero's as fucking exotic as it gets around here. No, now, how do you see this game going? It's at the Amex. Graham Potter's team have been pretty decent this season.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, good old Harry Potter. Brian Potter as well in his wheelchair. How much? It's going to be a tasty fixture. This is the sort of game where Burnley needs to pick up points. I will just say though as well, I'm not sure whether this fixture will actually go ahead. The Burnley team were set to fly out to London and then travel down to Brighton. However,
it's windy down here on the south coast.
Their plane was cancelled. Their plane was cancelled due to it. So they are having to find other means of transport to get down there. However, looking at the videos on Facebook and stuff of people's vans going all over and falling over on the motorway, the choppy seas. I've seen a ferry where the water's come through the glass where people are sat underneath. This storm is horrendous, so it is going to call some of the games off. However, we are going to have a pick at them. But yeah, Niall, your thoughts on Brighton Burnley? How do you see it going?
For me, Brighton have became like draw FC in game, but no disrespect to them. They've played really well. They've got a great manager in Harry Potter, and they've got good players. They've got Bissouma, they've got Neil Maupay, guys like that. For Burnley, Burnley for me is just one of those teams like the Sunderland. It's like the thing in the toilet. It just doesn't want to flush away for some bizarre reason. So I don't know. Depending on the weather, if it goes ahead, I think this is going to be a 0-0.
So, do you think this game could be a draw?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
right now going for a draw. Oh, interesting. I mean, to be honest, away from home, being a team in 20th in the division. The thing is, I think it's at that business end of the season. I can't really say another draw's a good result. We need to start picking up points. You can only say a draw's a good result if you've got a bulk of games still left to play. But we are getting to that business end where teams around us are winning. We need to start picking up points. I mean, Chris, how do you see it? Do you see Burnley going to the Amex? I mean, you've got a point against Arsenal. You've got a point against Man United with a spirited second half performance. Gave Liverpool a game. We only conceded a goal due to a corner from a set piece. Otherwise we would have, we had the chances to bury them in the first half. Are Brighton going to expect Burnley to play football, or are they going to expect a really tough, torrid game?
I mean, first of all, can I just say I've just come across the highlight of the show. Highlight of the show? Yeah, no.
Oh boy, highlight up. Good one.
I think a lot of the games tomorrow like you said, some might be called off, but even if they go ahead, I mean, the wind down here has been ridiculous. The water's been coming over the beach and what have you. You're not going to have a normal game of football. You know, you're going to have to keep the ball on the floor. You're not going to have to sort of belt it up, you know, up and over and up and under and all that sort of thing. But then again, you've started saying that's how Burnley have started playing. You know, I like Burnley, and I'm surprised that you were down there. You know, you managed to stay up last season, but the problem was that for a team that was in that position last season, you didn't really go ahead and sort of, you know, do any repairs over the summer, apart from maybe stick a couple of plasters over it. And yeah, you're getting draws, but draws just aren't good enough. You know, we're getting draws and they're not good enough for us. So, and your bottom, I mean, it's the fact of the matter is, yeah, you're only a point behind Watford, but you're 7 points now behind Newcastle United. And okay, you've got 2 games in hand on Newcastle United, but could you honestly say you would win those 2? I mean, one of them's against Leicester, so you probably will. But
well, I mean, you look at Brentford. We've got 4 games. We've got 4 games on Brentford.
Yeah, but I took Newcastle as being the sort of one in 17th place.
Yeah, of course,
you know.
Have you
And I mean, you know, I'm not a. I like
in the rearranged games now. We've still to play Aston Villa, Leicester, Spurs, and Everton.
None of them are easy. You know,
no, we were meant to play Everton on Boxing Day. We were meant to play Everton on Boxing Day. Perfect time to have played them under Agent Rafa. You know, when they were under Rafa Benitez, it would have been the perfect time to play them. Now, with Lampard, you do not know what you're going to expect.
No.
I say that it's a good time to play them under Rafa. I mean, we got beat 3-1 by him at Goodison Park. So
the problem is, and I tell you what, Ralph Hussenthal from Southampton said this.
Go on, I love that.
You should make the team, these games, they should play with the players that they had.
I got Jamie.
At that time.
Hope you well, Jamie.
That you, not, if they're injured, they can still play, but, Iris, but they should use any new signings, you know, and I think that is true. But I don't know. I just fear for you, mate. You know, Newcastle are only going to go one way. Everton are probably going to get better under Lampard. Let's be honest, he can't get any worse.
Yeah,
Leeds are just, you don't know what's going to happen with Leeds. They can turn up and win and turn up and lose. So, and then, like I say, you got Brentford. I just don't. Like I say, you got the games in hand, but as Reece said, you need the points on the board. I'm sorry, mate, but Graham Potter's not all that, but he is a good manager. But he's far from being a great manager. He's got to win things to do that, or even get fighting into Europe. But he is a good manager. He is a good tactician. But I'm sorry, you're going to lose this if it goes ahead, mate.
Not fair point. Fair point. At the end of the day, it is all a matter of opinions. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and go wanker. I mean, I said that when you left Burnley and you left my mum. You know, it really upset me. So it don't matter, Chris. It doesn't matter.
They're now known as Deportivo wanker, if you don't mind.
Well said. Of course, Chris said a Brighton win. Of course he did, Kate. Don't dumb it down. Carl says 2-1 to the Clarets. This is our turning point for our season, I believe. We've had many turning points, to be fair. You know, we played West Ham a couple of seasons ago. We were looked like destined for the drop. To be fair, we did have Joe Hart in goal. And as soon as Tom Heaton came back from injury... Well, yeah. And then Tom Heaton came back from injury, you know, pulled out an absolute worldie of a performance against West Ham. We got the 3 points, and it turned our season. This is the sort of game that could potentially do that, and I really hope it does. Jamie says 1-1. I'll take it. Because a point's better than nothing. But a point is better than nothing. Andrew says games in hand are usually worth 2 points a game at the top of the table, about 0.75 per game at the bottom. The thing is, the top of the table, forget it. sod it, right? We know it's City's.
At the end of the
It's
day, there's
in
no much
City's
difference
grasp.
between the two teams, isn't it? Like every team, isn't it? No much
Yeah,
of a difference.
exactly. The top of the table, it's in City's grasp. Who cares? Who cares? It's the same shit season in, season out. For me, even though we are in that hunt for the relegation, it's the most interesting bottom half of a Premier League table that it's ever been. All it takes is one of those teams in mid-table to have a shit ton of injuries. And I'm not calling Leicester because I know you get at least one or two a game now, Chris.
They come back, they play a game for us, and that's enough. I'm going to get injured again.
But the thing is, it could happen. We have seen it where a team literally just spirals, goes out of control, and just drops. Chris, send us that way. I need it for.
I'm just trying to find Burnley on the table. Sorry, won't be a second. Come back to me.
To be honest, mate, half of the Premier League have to use that to find Burnley on the map, let alone.
Yeah, like the map of the UK, isn't it?
Exactly. Reece says you won't like this, Dan, but from your remaining games this season, I only think you'll pick up around 10 points. I mean, us as fans, I think we're already resigned to the drop. We're already sort of accepting relegation. If we play like we have done against Liverpool, as we have done in that second half against Man United, if we can play like that in the games but go down, we've gone down fighting. However, why didn't you play like that in the first half of the season when you had the chance to pick up points and you didn't? You played like you had a butterfly up your arse and you shit yourself when someone came by with a zapper. Honestly, you crapped yourself.
I've never heard that before. A serious question for you, Dan.
Yeah,
and this is a serious question. You've won one, and you've not got the lowest points. We know that. That's Derby. But you've won one. I just like saying that. But you've drawn 11. Can you see any games that you can actually win and get more than one win come the end of the season?
I mean, the last game of the season could be interesting against Newcastle.
Yeah, John Sinclair's team.
That's Man United, isn't it?
No, definitely Newcastle, not guilty. When you can call it, not guilty.
To be fair, I think is it a good time for us to play Leicester, Chris? If I'm going to fire a question back, is it a good time for Burnley to play Leicester?
Well, I would have preferred an answer first.
Well, okay. Answer first would be protected. I look at our next couple of games. We've got Brighton away, Tottenham at home, Palace away, and then obviously Leicester back at the turf. Based on them 4 games alone, being in 20th in the league and being realistic, 4 points isn't good enough in my opinion. No, it's the second half of that season. Second half of the season. You've got to at least, out of them 4 games, be taking at least 6 points. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would happily take 6 points out of them next 4 games if it can happen. Anything more, 4 points, okay, we're still in and about there, but we're expecting we need to start getting something. As Reece said, games in hand mean nothing now when you don't have the quality. I mean, we do have the quality. We've started playing, Reece. We've actually started playing some really good football. Could you imagine Storm Eunice and Burnley playing the fucking long ball? We'd be knackered. We'd be screwed. We'd go to give a goal kick and score an own goal because ball would blow back in net. We can't play long ball in this shit. I mean, look at the equaliser against United, Reece. The equaliser against United, the ball was on the floor. We worked it forward. We grabbed the equaliser. You can't say that Burnley haven't changed or adapted. And I'm not saying that you haven't said that, but we do need quality. And we haven't quite hit the nail on the head in terms of 100% quality to change a game. However, Storm Eunice will probably play into Burnley's hands. It won't surprise me. But I do think it's going to be a struggle. Andrew says 1.5 per game gets you 37. Burnley need 1.5 per game now. I think that is possibly safe. It is. However, if it's in Burnley's favour, I can't see it. Reece said Burnley do need to get more from that team. I totally agree. However, they're aging every season, and as Dash says, seasoned pros, bollocks. They passed it. They passed it. They can't keep up with it. The ever-changing. They can't adapt to the ever-changing physicality of the Premier League, and they will struggle when it comes to Championship because that's even more physical because it's Tuesday, Saturday, and you don't even get a break when it comes to internationals. So you're going to get constant, 2 games a week, pretty much.
And the other thing as well is, you might get those 1.5 points per game or whatever, but you don't know what the other teams are going to get.
Yeah, it's got to, that's hit the nail on the head. It's got to a point where we have to do our own work. We have to do the dirty work ourselves. We have to go into games, try and get the points. But we are also hoping that those teams that have started to hit a bit of form drop points. Newcastle need to start dropping points. They've bought their way out of it. We can all say that. We all know that. And as Chris has already alluded to, if the shoe was on the other foot, would I take that in a heartbeat? Absolutely. But it is what it is, and you've got to deal with the matter at hand. I could sit here and say, Newcastle without money, you're gone. Aston Villa, you shouldn't even be in this league. But you know what? But however, that's just being picky and pernickety. We've got to do our own job. We can't rely on other people doing our job for us. And it's going to cost us. And that's why I still am adamant that we are going to go down. However, as I said at the beginning, if we go down with the same fight as we've had in the last 2 games, I've got no problem with that. I've got no problem with that at all. Andrew says, United fans crease me. One good win just on another channel where they're suggesting resting 5 or 6 players against Leeds as we are clearly better than them. To be fair, we will touch on that game. It's not far coming up, so we will talk about that in a moment. I totally agree with you shaking your head. Reece says, if West Brom can do it, Burnley can. Yeah. I mean, we've got Sean Allardyce now, haven't we? So Sean Allardyce is concerned the fortune.
I mean, look at Leicester at this stage of the season. We were bottom of the league.
Totally
we
agree.
hadn't won, and
totally agree, Doc.
We suddenly went on a run. So it can be done. It can certainly be done. Because that season, would I bet on staying up? No, not at all. And me and my son drove 7.5 hours every home game to watch Leicester. That we were season ticket holders that season, and we kept losing and losing. I mean, we had the West Ham win. The Man United win. Sorry, sorry, mate, but it was 5-3. And after that, it just went downhill. But I tell you what, those players were fighting every single week. They were putting the effort in, and like you said, Dan, we weren't getting stuffed 4-5-0. It was 1-0, 2-1, whatever. And it was just our inexperience in the Premier League. I never thought we were staying up. I was thinking like, right, who would play? And then suddenly, we won 9 on a trot. I mean, what the bloody hell?
Totally agree. Saudi FC buying off relegation. Is that
I can't agree with that. No.
What's on that profile picture? Is that like a robin or something?
It is. It is.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's me. That's me. Nothing on top, ginger underneath.
No, I can't agree with that because, Burnley have got new owners, haven't you, that are putting money in?
Yeah. The only problem for us, though, Chris, is the former chairman did fuck all for 3 years.
But the point,
he did not fall for 3 years. He didn't put any money in. He expected change from Nafol. He was more on about what he could reap the rewards of.
But under him, you qualified for Europe, and you got
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But then yet again, that wasn't even because of him, in my opinion, because technically we still had the same squad that got promoted.
Yeah.
All we added to that was Joe Hart as a free agent.
Yeah.
And probably another 2 free agents in that season. I can't remember off the top of my head.
But the thing is, you can't accuse I'm sorry, I'm not having the fact that Newcastle are buying survival, because if that had been, like I said earlier, if that had been Burnley and they'd come in and bought Burnley, would that have meant you were buying survival?
Yes.
Every club,
Yeah.
every club. I mean, people always say about Leicester that we didn't buy the league when we won it because of the sort of players we had, but looking back at what we used to be like, we were a lot richer off. And compare us to Rochdale Oldham, we're a rich club. Compare us to Newcastle, Man City, we're not. It's all about perspectives, and it is all about money. And
I agree. But I also think, though, Chris, that in the same aspect, if you was to turn around to me and said, "Have you bought your way out of relegation?" I'd say, "Fucking right, we have."
Yeah.
Because,
But
I mean, you only have to look at the stats since January, and I'm not being funny, Andrew. You're right. There is probably lots of envy towards Newcastle.
No, you're right,
fear and it is. It's totally true. I'll back that. It is fear and jealousy because, Newcastle are a big club. They're in a city. Burnley aren't going to get touched by some Saudi billionaire. No chance. However, it's going to get to that point in football because football is a business. People are getting bought out by countries. But the thing I disagree with, Chris, is the fact that you said there, would I say that Burnley bought their way out of relegation? And yes, I would. I would sit here and tell you to your face, what, we've bought our way out of it.
Yeah,
we have spent money on players that have bought our way.
Yeah. Replying back to the other guy. But and again, everybody in the Premier League, you're getting such large amounts of money that everybody is buying what they've got. Some are shopping at Lidl, some are shopping at Waitrose, some are shopping at Harrods. What I love about the whole thing is good luck to Newcastle because they've had so many shit years under Ashley, although he did do them well with the fair play. He didn't spend a lot on that side. But it's going to be the likes of Man City, Liverpool, in fairness to them, Man United, Chelsea, those teams are going to be shitting themselves because there's a new kid on the block with a lot of money. And it's not Man City, and they still got the money, but suddenly there's a bigger guy on the block with a bit more money.
No, I agree. And don't get me wrong, when City started spending, everyone was a bit like sort of, okay, they're going to eventually get there. Newcastle are going to do the same. Newcastle are going to do the same, where they buy their way up, and they buy their way up the league. However, I mean, I just think that this comment that they have in a way.
No, Chris, sorry, mate, that's just jealousy.
No, Chris, listen. I'll give you another context of this comment, which I totally agree with, right?
Comment, mate.
So, say Newcastle spend a shit ton of money, like they did in January, 90 plus million. They were the top spenders in the January transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work out. All of a sudden, those players they brought in hit this bad run of form. There's arguments, there's egos, there's wankers on the training ground having buffs up, having another Lee Boyer, Kieran Dyer moment. All of a sudden, it goes tits up. Yes, we're still going to sit here and say they bought their way out of it, but what if all of a sudden they then drop and then we go, oh, right, so that was for what? Them owners are going to shit themselves.
Well, they'll just buy more players. And 90 million is not that. We spent 40 million on Tielemans. Now, we're spending 40 million on one player. How much did they get for 90 million? And compare that to what United, Man City, Liverpool and all that have spent.
I'll tell you what they got. They got Kieran Trippier, a right back that won the La Liga the season before. Yeah. They got Chris Wood, who in a team fighting relegation, season in, season out, will bag double figures. However, at Newcastle, they won't because their wingers like to cut in.
No.
Their midfielder that they brought in from Leon. He's, they brought somebody in. I mean, look at what Newcastle did. They brought in Miguel Almiron and expected him to change the fortunes. They brought St. Maximan in, expecting him to change the fortunes. I go back to your comment, Chris. I go back to your comment where you said, some people shop at Lidl, some people shop at Harrods. City shop at Harrods. Newcastle at the minute are doing a big shop at Lidl. Burnley are still rooting in the fucking dustbin for the trying to find something on the best before date.
But I mean, but at the end of the day, it's Newcastle are not going to go out and buy Reece, but that's nothing to do with Newcastle. If the FA have found them fair and decent owners or whatever they have to do, then that's fine. You can disagree with people's politics. You could say, look at Man City, they were owned by a guy who ended up in jail. Look at Portsmouth, they were owned by a guy that sent them bust and was stealing the money off.
Milan Mandaric, yeah.
No, not Milan Mandaric. No. It was the guy he sold to.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because Milan Mandaric owned Leicester for a bit. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't start looking at that because our owners are from Thailand. Well, Thailand's a military dictatorship, most of the time. But no, what I was going to say was about Newcastle is they're not going to go out now and buy Harrods in case they go down. They're going to just buy players that will keep them up. Leicester, when we went down to the first division, we didn't go out and just buy players and ex-players from the Premier League and all that. Pearson went out and he got players on short-term contracts. And but there's some bargains to be got in the Spa, and you have got rich owners. What are they doing with the money? If they're not prepared to spend it,
To be fair, Chris, they have actually gone out and they've been pretty active. Like our last chairman was a bit of a tart. As I said to you, he was a tart bastard.
Well, then maybe if you are spending the money,
this guy is literally flying out to countries to try and sell the club to these players.
Okay.
I'm not being funny. I can sit here in front of you now and can categorically say Maxwell Cornet deserves better than Burnley Football Club.
Yeah.
I can happily say that as a fan. It hurts me to say that, but he and Wout Weghorst are better than Burnley Football Club.
They are good players, but I can remember
at
Burnley when Paul Gascoigne came and played for you.
Arse end of his career. He had to turn up with a briefcase full of booze.
I tell you what, we were in the Championship with Burnley, Leicester and Burnley. He was still 10 times better than 95% of your players, even though he was at the arse end of his thing. And the things he was trying to do it just wasn't coming off because the Burnley players weren't as, football brained like he was. But what I'm saying, like I say with Leicester, it's about buying the right players. What Newcastle are doing now is buying the players to keep them up. If they stay up, then they will go and buy, come the summer, the players to take them to the next level. Because at the moment, even if they say stay up and finish 17th, 18th, they're not suddenly going to go from there possibly to first. I don't know. But it's all about buying the right players. We bought the players in League One to get us out of League One. There were loan players. Players that once we got up, we could then go and buy the players that we needed for the Championship. And if you're getting the wrong players to do the job for you that you need at the moment, then you've got to look at your manager. Why is he picking those players? Because Cornet might be too good for Burnley, and it's a fair point. But Burnley don't need him at the moment. Maybe they need a player that's going to dig in and not a fancy player, if you know what I mean.
Well, that for me is why we dropped Dwight McNeil against Liverpool, and I'm glad we did because he's not really had his best couple of games. To be fair, he sort of Dwight. The thing is with Burnley, if you put in a good performance, we've known you could now, Chris, you could pretty much recite Burnley's starting 11 off the back of your hand because it's the same team for the last couple of seasons. The fact that Dwight, it's like going to a nightclub.
Chris Wood, sorry.
Yeah. It's like going to a nightclub and getting that shit, waking up with that stamp on your hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, right, McNeil needed dropping because he got to a point where he sort of stagnated a little bit. He thought he was Billy Big Bollocks. He could just waltz about in the team and an average performance is good enough. We dropped him against Liverpool. He He's since turned round to Dash and said, I want to be involved in the under-23s game. I've not had enough football. I need to play football. If that's not a guy that has a good attitude in terms of saying, I want to play, I want to be kicking the ball about, I want to play, then I hope Dash in turn turned around to him and said, you know what? I love your attitude. I really do. Playing the under-23s game, not a problem. Not a problem for us at all. However, show that same mentality when you're playing first-team football. Show that fire, that will and desire to perform, to scream and earn your place in that top in that first 11.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what I will say to wrap this up is since I think this has been an hour show on its own, Burnley Brighton.
Yeah.
I do think
other games.
Yeah.
1 hour 16 and we're 4 games in.
Hey, don't worry about it. We'll get through.
Okay, mate. Don't worry.
You know what?
We get to Man United, mate.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm not watching this game. I'm out with the kids. I won't be able to watch it. I'll be checking the scores on my phone, of course I will. But it wouldn't surprise me while I'm out and checking the scores that I completely forget about the game because I'm trying to tell the kids, stop doing this, stop doing that, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I check the scores eventually and Burnley win this game.
You need to win it because you've got Leicester coming up, mate.
Hey, definitely. It won't surprise me. We'll win this game, win the game against Spurs, win the game against Palace, and then absolutely get whitewashed against Leicester. No, I'm going to go for Burnley.
Many games before us. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So we've got Brighton this weekend, Spurs on Wednesday, and then Palace on the Saturday, and then it's back to you again midweek.
We've not got a game next weekend.
Well, Chris, don't you worry, because we will be on the same room, won't we? Because you're doing a watch along for that Burnley Leicester game, so it should be interesting.
I haven't had the best of luck with them at the moment.
Fingers crossed it goes the same way, Chris.
How come you've not got a game next weekend, Leicester?
Because we were due to play Chelsea and they're in the League Cup final.
Oh,
Doug's come in with some absolutely cracking news. I went to Burnley versus Bury in a pre-season friendly a couple of years back. A good couple of years back, should I say. But yeah, absolutely fantastic news. It's great for the town of Bury. It's great for the fact that, you've had teams like Darlington that have literally died out, Wimbledon that have died out, and you've got this franchise that take their place, this bullshit MK Dons crap. But for a fan group to come in and purchase Gig Lane by absolutely fantastic. So you know what?
Yeah.
Fair play. All hard work goes to those fans at Bury that didn't let football die. They've not let football die, and they've wanted to fight their cause. And as Doug says there, deal to purchase.
I worked in Bury for a good few years, and no club should. And I'm speaking as a Leicester fan here, that we went bust once, we very nearly went bust the second time, and no town, even though Derby in their position, and obviously Leicester hate Derby, I would not want them to lose their club.
No, I've said the same. When all the shit happened with the Venkies and Blackburn went to League One, it was I was crying with laughter. It was fucking brilliant. And you saw them crying on Sky, and you're just stood there looking at your screen, go, "Hey, have some of that." However, liquidation is not the answer. It does not help football at all. Does not help football at all. Would I want to see Blackburn liquidated? Of course not. Of course not.
Especially when you're like your closest rivals, isn't
it? Rivals or not, it just kills off football. And I don't care what football club it is, it should not happen. Should not happen at all.
At the end of the day, it's not nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. And those arseholes that tried to run away with the Super League, these are the clubs. Bury, Darlington, even Wigan had their spat. Wigan had this spat recently, and they managed to get out of it under Dave Whelan. Bolton. Derby
as well. Long ago, in recent history, they were in Europe.
Exactly. So, I'm so happy. As Reece says, I'm glad for Bury. They do have a massive fight. Whether it's going to be Bury FC in the stadium or whether it's going to continue as AFC Bury that are in the non-league now.
They've had to set up a new company, that's why it's AFC Bury. So I'm guessing it would carry on as that.
It's sort of like AFC Wimbledon in a sense. Munsy's in. Munsy says, "Big up, lads. Big up to yourself, Munsy. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Thank you very much." Andrew says there are some famous old teams in the National League. It's scary. I remember going to the turf and watching Burnley against Boston United. You know, all of a sudden I'm in my teenage years, and you know they're fighting in the doldrums of the league. You know, you've got teams like Barnet turning out with flaming Edgar Davids. What the fuck's all that about? Carl says McNeil needs to start running at players, taking them on and putting the cross in the box like he has done in the last 2 seasons. Stockport, Chesterfield, Halifax, Wrexham, Grimsby, Notts County, Torquay, Southend, Yeovil, Barnet, all recently league teams. 100% agree. Mark says even further down, Andrew, like York. Yeah, York as well. I mean, they've also got a new stadium now as well. Kidderminster, Hereford. It's brutal. It is brutal down there. Those, you know, it's strange because I sort of see Burnley. I sort of see Burnley still amongst that. You know, growing up as a 90s kid, watching them in, you know, Division 1 and stuff like that. It's been quite. I'm just used to the fact that we're punching above our weight. I'm not saying that I see them in that sort of caliber in terms of team. However, I just think that, you know, we're sort of in that doldrums of we've punched above our weight where them guys haven't. Mark says, I remember Gig Lane on a Tuesday night in November a few years back. It is a great ground. It is an absolutely cracking ground. Chris has dropped.
Yeah, he got away, I think.
He's gone for he's going to get a drink and snacks. Why not?
Get a drink and snacks, why not? And maybe a wee beer along the way. Yeah,
get yourself a beer, Chris. Get yourself a beer. Maybe I'm crazy, but I look at our squad and I think if we had won just 3 of the draws, we would be at 20 points, sitting 18th with 2 games in hand and just 1 point behind Newcastle. I would take that. Only a few teams should be bust, i.e. Leeds and Cardiff. Hey, and I knew full well Mark could comment 100%. Sorry, I would love it, lol. And as Reece says, sorry, horrible seeing clubs get relegated. Worst feeling.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, on this team, Bolton.
The thing is with Derby as well. Derby's a tough one because obviously Mel Morris chucked money at it, and I can understand why he's done that to try and get into the Premier League. Reece comes back with a comment there. Celtic and Liverpool went bust, and Leeds he'd probably celebrate. I mean, there'd be a few celebrate Leeds.
Just fan, Man United fan, there you go.
The Neville should have been. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you know, Neville, Phil and Gary Neville's dad, they were the, was manager at the time. Neville or chairman. He could have come in and bailed them out the shit. Didn't. Neither Phil or Gary did. They had their allegiances pretty much to Salford. All be having a party when Cardiff go bust. Wrexham, Hartlepool League 2, they're back in there.
Yeah. Jeff Darwin.
Matt says, not this again. Reece, what do you think about the HOF news? Who inducts? Hall of Fame news? Will it be Kane or Vince? My money on Vince, though. Talking about wrestling. I like the fact that he's the main headliner, deserves it. And as you say, a Jola, look at Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
We will move on to the next game. I think we've talked Burnley Brighton enough. As I say, I do think that Burnley may potentially take the points in this game. We will get Chris's views when he comes back.
It turned into a debate show, more or less, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? It did. I mean, as a Burnley show, as a Burnley fan, as a Burnley show, I obviously had to speak a little bit more about it.
I enjoyed it so far.
Exactly, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah, however, I do think I may be taking it. Maybe taking it a bit too, but we'll go with it. We'll roll with it. Kate's looking at me and I'm getting daggers. Don't worry, Kate. I'll be fine. Yeah. We're going to a museum tomorrow. I know. Yeah, it's fine.
Get my
see? Now saying get me. She don't need to. I've got the juice at the side, mate. I've poured myself another one. Chris will be back. Chris will be back shortly. Moving on to the next game. Now I'll get your predictions first. Crystal Palace. Now Crystal Palace at home to Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
A tough fixture. Palace under Patrick Vieira have surprised a lot of people this season.
Mm-hmm.
They've absolutely been absolutely fantastic this year, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, I didn't even know you. Do you know how it usually comes up at the bottom and says 1 at the bottom where someone's joined? It actually didn't, so I didn't even know you were there.
Just ignore me. Sorry, I needed, and I had 2 options because I needed the toilet. I thought it's either Dan's corner or the actual toilet itself. So
it's either listen to Dan talking a load of piss or go for one.
Exactly.
But now, going back to yourself, Crystal Palace, absolutely been bossing this season, surprised a shit ton of people. Chelsea just coming back from the Club World Cup, apparently.
Club Cup, whatever it called, like the Coco, whatever it called,
I mean, it's all about just having a fancy badge at middle of your shirt, isn't it, really? That's all it is. Not the trophy.
That makes like a holiday game, like a dress rehearsal, wouldn't it?
You think Palace will win it?
Sorry?
Did you say Palace will win it?
Like that game, you mean?
Did you say that Palace will win this game?
No, I said like a dress rehearsal, but like as in like there was fans there obviously, but the dress rehearsal was just banter.
Yeah,
like
no.
Chelsea Cup, World Cup, or whatever you like to call it.
No, I mean, how do you see this game going now?
To be honest, I've been really impressed with Crystal Palace this season. They've signed obviously Aston Edward, who is obviously at Celtic, who didn't set a head on fire at Celtic, and he's positioned for Crystal Palace. He's playing in a team involving Wilfred Zaha, Medea, Conor Gallagher, of course, who's caught my eye, but I don't think he can play in that game due to the loan from Chelsea. Chelsea, I tipped them to win the league at the start of the season, but they've went off the boil and they're getting too many draws and dropping points. You know what? In terms of this game, I actually think Palace will beat them. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
2-1 Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
Fair play.
I think we'll beat them.
Fair play. Crystal Palace to win. That Niall's going for. I mean, Chris, you've already said the subtitles, Joe. Previously, I'm sure you are. I know you did.
So we haven't got any Welsh in, so I don't have to today.
Ducky says Palace 3, Chelsea 0. Ducky, fucking hell, where are these coming from? Jesus. I'll tell you what, if you pull half of these results out that you've predicted, mate,
you'll be a millionaire.
He'll either be a millionaire or skint, depending on what he puts on.
Yeah,
Reset did say Niall said Edouard didn't light up with Celtic. I hate the green and white.
Yeah, I did say that.
But Edouard caused me nightmares, except last season when he was anonymous.
He's not been a lot better this season, has he?
No, I'll tell you, you are right, Steve. This weather is what Burnley is like 24/7. Reece says 3-1 Palace for me. Andrew says, boys, enjoyed the weekend's football. Andrew, thank you very much for tuning in. Hey, if you fancy tuning in, listen, if she's asleep in bed, just put it on. Turn volume down. I do it. And it's not even watching podcasts.
No, it's watching Base Station.
Mark says, Depo a 50p bet with those predictions. Duck it, hey, it's worth 50p, isn't it? Way he's gone with results. Doug says, Palace 1, Chelsea 2. Mason Mount is out for 2 weeks. A big doubt for next Sunday as well. Doug's gone for Palace, Chris.
No, did Keno say Chelsea in his?
What's that?
Did Keno write 2-1 to Chelsea, Doug? No.
I mean, Doug's gone Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Doug's gone Chelsea. I mean, Chris, how do you see this? I mean, as much as Mason Mount's probably is out for 2 weeks, what about? Are you Stephen Hawking? Do you have to pick up your phone and type it into Flame and give me an answer or what? Just talk to me.
Yeah, laptop, phone, iPad.
You have pissed me off. I'm going to bed. Bye, you bastard. All jokes aside, Chris, Palace at home. Can you see them? Can you see them dropping points against Chelsea? Has Tuchel got it in the bag to take the points away from Selhurst Park?
I love the fact that Chelsea have got a bigger number of on the shirt than you have wins on the board.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? You've been angling that comment. You've been angling it. You're dangling it from a thread.
I've been sat here waiting, wondering if I do it this week. I mean, Palace. I thought they struggled this season, and they didn't. But of late, I mean, they've not won in 5, so the wheels might be coming off the wagon slightly. I mean, they're below us now. They've drawn 3, lost 2. Chelsea, like you say, I mean, they've not been on the greatest of form. 2 draws, or 3 draws, a loss and a win. But I mean, they are just World Club champions. Yeah, it's going to be Chelsea.
No, Chris going for Chelsea. To be fair, now I think you might be on your own with this one for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you've gone for Palace. Chris has gone for Chelsea. I'm going to go straight down the middle. I just think. I just think if this was the other way around, Chelsea being at home, completely different fixture. Palace being at Selhurst Park, the crowd behind them, there's a very, very, very good chance that they may get something out of this game. Ducky says, can see Chelsea having a disaster this game. They have Lille on Tuesday in the Champions League and the League Cup final next weekend. Just think their minds will be elsewhere and Palace walk away with it. Very good shout. Very good shout, Ducky, to be fair. You have done your research, sir, so good fair play. Mark says, energy for what? Trust me, I'm trying to hold the fact that I need a pissing, to be honest. No, I'm gonna go straight down the middle. I've got to go for a draw. I'm not going to any corner, Chris. I'm going straight down the middle.
It's Kate I feel sorry for. She lies there at night and so just says, "Put my night dress down when you're finished."
So
don't wake me up.
Have you put that down? Have you put it down? I've gone for a draw. I've got Kate with the pen and paper writing down the predictions. Don't worry. I have got my Debbie McGee. I've got my Debbie McGee in the wings. I definitely have. This one is definitely going to be a whitewash. I mean, Kate, you can put me down already. This is Liverpool's game. This is Liverpool's game all over. And I will call my prediction as soon as I saw it. Now, don't be put off by the fact that I've put James Milner in that picture. He's still wearing a Liverpool kit. He still is wearing a Liverpool kit. It is Liverpool against Norwich. Norwich have been on a good run. Do not get me wrong. However, this is the sort of game for me where they are brought back down to earth. Yeah. How do you see it going?
To be honest, Norwich for me are a yo-yo club. Like they go up and down the league, like the Premiership and the Championship. And yes, they get rid of Daniel Farke due to their league position, of course. And brought in Dean Smith, done a great job, starting to play Scotland midfielder and on Chelsea loanee Billy Gilmore. And as for Liverpool, they've got too much quality with Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Bobby Firmino, and Diego Jota. And in terms of the result, I think Liverpool will be too much for Norwich on the day, so I'm going to go a 4-0 to Liverpool.
No, I can totally understand. As I say, Niall's going Liverpool. I'm going Liverpool. Chris, are you thinking exactly the same thing?
as I said before, piss off Norwich, go back down to where you came from and stay down there for a few seasons until you want to come up and take it seriously. Liverpool win every day of the week. It could be embarrassing.
Speaking of embarrassing, Doug come in with a joke. Not aimed at Leicester, however, Chris. In no
he knows
way.
I've got to fight back. He knows I've got to tell him a joke back, though.
Kate says, "Stop drinking then. Literally on drink number 7, and I don't want piss in my pocket again." She is true. I am literally clinging on for dear life. I am busting.
I had a dream last night.
Don't be getting into after cubicles down the toilet, man.
I had a dream last night that I was cutting carrots with the Grim Reaper. I felt like I was dicing with death.
Oh, God. You know what? I didn't think I'd ever have to do this. But, Chris, however, please talk to Niall about this game. I am only saying this because I cannot hold it any longer.
We'll go on to the next game because we've done this game, really.
Yeah. It's a whitewash for Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's a oh my God, it's a whitewash for Liverpool. Southampton versus Everton. Boys, take it away.
Well, I'll let you go first, Niall. What do you think?
To be honest, I think it's hard to call because Everton are in a bit of a free fall just now. Well, I know they're picking up a wee bit under Frank Lampard. Southampton, I know they beat Tottenham recently, and they've got a good side. They've got Shea Adams, they've got Stuart Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, they've got good players on paper. So in this game, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw for this one, if you want me to be honest.
I mean, for me, Everton are... obviously, they were in free fall, and like you say, under Rafa. Gerrard's coming. He's made. I mean, Danny van der Beek. I know it's only on loan, but a great signing. But they're not consistent under.
Completely agree.
Under Lampard yet. That said, Nora Southampton. But looking at Everton, they've lost 4 in the last 5. They've only won the last 1, which was against Leeds, and you'd think that they should really win that. Southampton, they're actually going away at their business pretty much under the radar because nobody's kind of looking at them and taking them seriously. They're kind of thinking, well, who's going to be the 9-0 guys that beat them this season? But they've won, lost, drawn, won, drawn. Southampton. They beat Tottenham, like you say, 3-2. They beat Brentford. Oh God, he's back.
Right now.
But anyway, stop talking about Dan. He's wonderful, great human being. Now, for me, I rate Ralph Hussenthal, to be honest with you. I can't even say his name.
Done a great job.
Yeah. If Rodgers was ever to go from Leicester, I wouldn't mind him. I got asked this question yesterday, and I think to take a team that's been beaten 2 9-0s in 2 seasons, still be there, and have still kept them up and going. Yeah, you're right with that one. You're right with that one. I think he's doing a great job, but I'm going for Southampton win here.
Southampton win. Doug Flint. Now, who did you go for?
I went for a 1-1 draw because Everton are in a bit of a free fall. I know they've got Frank Lampard in now, and I think they're playing a bit better football. They've got Donny van der Beek on loan, obviously, which I forgot to touch on. And as for Southampton, I know they beat Tottenham 3-2 recently. They've got James Ward-Prowse, of course, Shea Adams, the Scotland striker, and they've got Stuart Armstrong, also the Scotland midfielder. So they've got good players. In terms of this game, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, to be honest with you.
No, fair play. Doug says it's helpful for Scotland.
Good for Scotland, yeah.
Those that doubted Southampton deserve all the humiliation. Yeah, no, I'll hold my hands up. I was the same.
One of them as well.
I was one of them. I said that, it's too little too late. They've sold all the big guns. It's, but you know what? They've done a Denmark. They've rallied together. They've rallied together after losing those big players, and they've grinded out some results. Kate says, if it starts raining during this storm, it's not rain, it's Daniel's pee.
You did not have long enough to go to the toilet. Kate, check the corners.
Mate, it fired out. Honestly, it fired out. The advantage. There you go, Chris. I'll put your comment on. The advantages of easy origami are twofold. Can I just say, Leicester till I die TV, second favourite Leicester City channel, as Chris would like to say.
I know that.
Hey, you will always be first, my friend. You know it. Doug says, I wanted a gig in a chimpanzee cage and got bambooned off.
Yeah, I can't get one.
And Reece says, never underestimate the ability of a good manager.
Yeah.
Kate says, he's probably shot up at the mirror, probably a wet patch on the stairs. I'm getting him adult nappies soon. Listen, you two are guys, you know the drill. If there's a stain on the back of the bog, it needs clearing.
Or a gag mark even.
Oh, a good old turd mark up back at the toilet. It needs clearing, doesn't it? And we don't use that brush thing. No, we don't need a brush. We don't need a brush.
You need to use like a toilet brush or whatever it's called.
It's technically a human toilet brush. It clears it for you. You don't even have to get your hands dirty.
Chris, when we were younger, we used to be able to have that game where we used to pee up the wall and see who could do it the highest. Our wives and girlfriends just aren't impressed when we do it nowadays.
Yeah, mate.
You know what, Chris? I like that one. I'll tell you what, everyone in the chat, me and Chris, eventually, we have spoken about it for donkey's years and we haven't done it, but we are going to do, if you remember rightly, during the Euros, Ian Wright and Alan Shearer sat down together and fired jokes at each other to see who would laugh the most. We need to get that off the ground, Chris. We need to get that booked in.
We've got a break coming up soon with no match, so
exactly. No perfect time than the present. Reece said, went for a walk down the countryside. Police walked past me saying afternoon. I said morning. Said evening. Said make your mind up. My tea's getting cold.
Cold. I think in Scotland, cold. It's very cold.
There you go. Kate's called it. 500 sub challenge. You can shoot the P the highest.
You probably won't be able to manage it well.
Hey, honestly, when you don't have to unravel the horse that much, you're right. There's not much competition. Regarding this game, Southampton-Everton, I think Everton under Frank Lampard have been. It's sort of transitional, isn't it? They're sort of growing into the managerial, tactics of Frank Lampard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
However, it's a case of has Ralph Hasenhüttl got the noir to beat Frank Lampard, and I do think he does. So I am going to go for Southampton. Nick this. I want to say Southampton nick this game. Kate says, who can shoot it the highest and get it in Kate's dressing gown pocket? You're just as bad as me. You're just as bad as me.
Kate, if you're into water sports, just come out and say it. Just don't hide your bushel,
Kate, that's a challenge. It definitely is. Trust me, it's a challenge. Learn from the best. Correct. Hasn't Hootle taken sits as far as he can go? Does any of you two guys want to answer that one?
Probably.
Probably, yes. But probably Newcastle trophy or two, like the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. But that's maybe as far as you can. Maybe I don't know. Maybe getting a Europa ring or a Champions League.
I don't think Southampton are the sort of club. I think they're happy where they are, and they won't spend on it. And I think for him to do any more, he would need to go to another club.
No, that's true. Reece says he shoots, he scores. Question is, who scores? Mark says, I would say 7th and maybe an FA Cup.
You have missed out on my joke and a Doug's joke here.
Yeah, I have. Doug says, I think he's leaving in the summer. Kate says, Daniel's been scoring for a while.
Has he, Kate? Whoa.
In football or golf?
You wrote that wrong, haven't you? You're sat there. What?
No, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Doug says, I was reading a book about anti-gravity. I can't put it down. I'll tell you what you can put down. Dogs.
I've got a book coming out soon. Did I tell you?
Or cats.
I shouldn't have eaten it, in fairness.
Definitely. Moving on to Sunday's games.
Sunday games.
I say Sunday's games.
Yeah, you did, mate, didn't you?
I think there's one I'm missing out here.
No. I think you've missed out in a Man United game or whoever that is. No, you're playing.
Man United aren't playing this
No,
weekend.
I've missed it. I think I've missed a game out. I think I have missed. Let me see.
You've done West Ham, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brentford, Villa, Watford, Brighton, Burnley, Palace, Chelsea, Liverpool, Norwich, Southampton, Everton, Man City, Tottenham are on the Saturday night.
Yes,
that's the one you've missed.
You know what? That's the one. And I'll tell you now, people in the chat, people watching. This was the point where I was doing the edits, I was putting the pictures in, and drama happened involving my next door neighbour. This is I have completely not done any. I have not done the images for Manchester City versus Spurs.
You were too big twitching those net curtains, weren't you?
To be honest, Chris, I'm not being funny. It was scary. It was scary last night. It really was. Last night, led in bed, just casually. I'm editing everything, making sure everything's set for the day after.
No wonder Kate's got a good life up there. In bed with her when you're editing on your phone. Poor Kate.
But the thing is though, Chris, I'm just sat there, minding my own business, doing what I need to do, getting everything set for tonight.
Fishing in the corner.
You dick. And however, there was a car outside next door's house, and all of a sudden I hear this crash bang wallop. I goes to the window. I goes to the window, and all of a sudden I see a guy in a grey hood up with a crowbar smashing next door's car up. Now I'm not saying I live in the Bronx because I don't. However, it felt like that. And it took my attention away from everything. And I'll admit, I haven't done the Man City Spurs gif. So now I will come to you. Manchester City Spurs. I mean, quite a big game. I'll drop that off. I mean, you can't look past Man City. Man City need to win, don't they, to keep that distance between Liverpool. Yeah. How do you see the game going?
Yeah, like what you talked on, Man City really need to win that game to keep the distance on Liverpool. Spurs, a bit of a hit and a miss. I know I've got Conte, Antonio Conte, and I've made a few signings on January transfer deadline day. And in terms of this game, I think Man City will win this 3-2. Because I think Spurs will get goals from Son or Harry Kane if they're playing. 3-2 Man City.
So, Doug, Niall's going Manchester City.
Yeah.
I'm doing you, Chris, when you keep calling me Brad. But no, Niall's going Manchester City. Chris, City Spurs. I mean, Spurs are bottlers, and I know how much you hate Spurs after recent events. But Man City do need to win this, don't they, to keep the difference between themselves and Liverpool.
It's at Man City ground. Man City going to win it.
No, fair play. Straight to the point, Chris. I like that. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. Matt does say United Leeds is Sunday 2 p.m. and we will be getting to that. Ducky says United Leeds. I mean, it is the other way around, Ducky, but fair point. Reece says, haha, well, Kate, getting firing top bins. Yes, that is true. After 2 years out of the game, I am involved in a football tournament over in Blackburn on Friday, which should be interesting. Fingers crossed.
What position do you play?
Usually centre back.
You good?
However, in the last couple of games, I have played up front, and I've been banging. I've done a Maxwell Cornet. I've transitioned from a centre back / left back to banging them in up top.
I thought we were right back in the dressing room.
Oh, I'm the
I can just say, Kate. You said Stoops. I'm remembering Stoops now.
Oh,
and
God.
I'd rather I wasn't.
No.
I'd rather I wasn't.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Stoops is that forgotten bit of Burnley, Chris, that nobody likes to mention, but thank you for bringing it up. Mark says United versus Leeds is Sunday 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Doug says 4-0 City. Reece says 4-3 City. Mark says 1-0 City. Doug says, my friend always wanted to get run over by a steam train. When it happened, he was chuffed to bits. Chuffed.
I don't get that.
That's the word, chuffed. Like chuff, like chuff. Kate says, I have no life up here. Needs saving. We don't live up Stoops either. Actually live in the nicer area of Burnley. See, that sounds good if you're not trying to tell people that somebody's car got punched in by a crowbar.
And in fairness, Kate, anywhere's nicer than Stoops, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the whole site's not bad. There he is. Off camera. I mean, he's there on camera. You can see his face. A beautiful face as well as Chris. I have to say that he's my dad. He'll beat me if you don't with his belt. I met this bloke with a didgeridoo. He was playing Dancing Queen on it. I thought that's. I like that one, Chris. I like that. You know what? Fair play. I like that one.
Dancing Queen.
Ducky says 2-1 Spurs. There's a nice area. There is a nice area. There is. Aidan Tate, Huddersfield fan. Prediction for Fulham, Huddersfield. I'm sorry, and I know as much, right? I think all of us could say this as well. Fulham against Huddersfield is it's going to be a tight game because Huddersfield are still fighting to get in the playoffs of the Championship. You're still in and around that area. However, Fulham have been banging goals in for fun. So, quick prediction there, I would say, if you get something from this game, then you are deserving of finishing in the playoffs. However, you can't look past Fulham the way they've been putting the ball in the back of the net in recent times. But it's going to be a clean sweep for this one as well. Manchester City against Spurs. I'm going to go for Manchester City as well. Kate says there's nice areas here, Mark. Like it's made up of mainly rough, but my end is nice. Trust. Kate, you could have reworded
that. Could have worded that better, couldn't she?
My end is nice. Trust me. No. Mark says 2-1 Fulham. Kate says I went for City, by the way. Doug says Aidan 1-1. Is it close to the turf, Kate? Doug says you wouldn't make a very good airline pilot if your name is Have a Hand Grenade. Kate says it's a small town, so everything is close enough to the turf. Probably 10-minute drive. Correct. But no, it is an absolute clean sweep for Manchester City. Now on to Sunday's games. Now that the distraction hadn't happened, we do have the 2 games on Sunday, and we start.
Here we go.
We start with the big one now. We really do. Leeds against Manchester United. I will come to you first as not just a Motherwell supporter, but as a Manchester United supporter.
Graham
Alexander, exactly. The penalty king. He's banned, hasn't he? He's been touchline banned for 2 games, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He's been given a 2-game ban for apparently against Hibs, where they played about last week or the week before. He swore at a referee, called him a ball bag, basically.
There's nothing more. Do you know the best thing about now? Can I just say this? There's nothing better than swearing in the Scottish language, because you could call somebody an effing cow, and it sounds like the worst insult you have ever said. If you turn around and go, "Who are you talking to, you fucking coo?" and that's it. It is the most. You feel that.
See the thing is, see if it's
talking about.
See if it's got his slang, it'll come across like an insult to people. Like got his flaring, got his swan, blah blah blah. You wee man. Yeah, that's
All right, wee man. Who's it? How's it going? How's it going?
How's it going, mate?
I honestly, I absolutely love it up Scotland. I really, really do. I mean, speaking of which, bring yourself back to England for a moment. How do you see Manchester United faring against Leeds? It's a bit of a rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a well-known rivalry from like going back years ago. Leeds have got a good manager and Marcel Bielsa, and you've got a good holding midfielder in Calvin Phillips. You've got Patrick Bamford, who's I believe is injured, which has been a big miss for Leeds. You've got Rafinha, I believe, who was linked with, I think it was Liverpool, and you've got a young goalkeeper who I don't think is got deviating off. He's like a championship keeper. And going on to Man United, I just think Man United are just lacking that inconsistency. You've got a defender in Harry Maguire, it's like a shape of a fridge, who is too slow and better defenders, like better attackers, like pressing. And you've got like good players, like you've got your McFred, you've got Hopper, you've got Cavani, and you've got Gabby Gagea. So you know what? I've got a feeling that Man United are going to win this 3-0 on Sunday.
So do you think United will get something from this game? Because to be fair with you,
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, it's a tough one to call because this is, and I said this on Chris's channel, and I'll mention it when I come to Chris. But do you see Manchester United winning this game?
Sorry, you're asking me or you're asking Chris?
Yeah. Do you see Manchester United getting the 3 points in this game?
I think they could do it, yeah, but I think like if they go from their chances and create chances, and one of them going, I believe United could win the game like a 2 or 3-0. So I'm getting with 3-0 to Man United.
No, not fair play. Fair play if you're going for United. I mean, Chris, I said to you earlier in the week, when you did yours.
Which United?
Yeah, which United are you going for now? Leeds or Manchester? I'm guessing it's Manchester.
Hey, you asking Chris or me?
Not you, yourself.
Or me? Who am I going for? Manchester United.
Manchester United. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so. Of course, I thought so. Ducky says Leeds 4, Man United 1. Too much drama in that United dressing room at the moment. I think Man United will implode Sunday. Tab says hard to call. Bielsa coaches and managers the club both into and out of trouble. If he would ever play Geldart, good things would happen. Kid is going to be a star. Totally agree. He was in fan form when he was playing for Wigan. Doug says, I saw this advert in a window that said television for sale, £1, volume stuck on full. I thought I got to turn that down. That's a good one. I like that one, Doug. That's one of your best. That is one of your best, sir. I do like that. Matt says, Leeds are so open.
Yeah,
Doug says, I'm so lazy, I've got a smoke alarm with a snooze button. From the way I'm seeing Chris panning around on his TV, jokes are coming to his head left, right and centre, and he's whacking them into the chat.
Into the chat.
Doug says, Uncle Ben has died, no more Mr. Raska. I should laugh at that. Should not laugh at death. No. All right. RP, Ras, baby. R-I-C-E-P. Mark says, seen that one, Doug, too many times. Went window shopping about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. Chris.
I was rushing that type in there because I thought you were going to come to me 10 minutes ago.
To be fair, mate. To be fair. I love how in sync we are. We think the same shit.
They say that with women, don't they? When they've been working together long enough, the periods, end up in sync.
To be fair, Chris, they do go and have a piss together.
Yeah.
They need to hold each other's hand when they go.
You see, that's what I don't get, right? Women go for a piss in pairs, and it's all right. I did it, and I got thrown out the greengrocers.
I will swallow that drink. I nearly went, but I didn't. Mark says, to be fair, it's something you can say that sounds like a great Irish accent. I said on your show, Chris, to be fair, I said on your show that Calvin Phillips, being a Yorkshire lad, will be in that dressing room. Even though he's injured, he will be in that dressing room rallying the troops. The fact that it's at Ellen Road, you're going to have 3/4 of that stadium belting out, marching on together as those players enter the field of play. Manchester United have got 11 egos on a pitch, in my opinion. However, it's completely, I can totally understand what you're saying, Mark. Bell End Road. I just think that. I just think, and as you rightly said in your channel, that United are missing that sort of person that can sort of give them an extra edge in this game. I think Leeds will be more up for it than Man United. I mean, how do you see it?
Basically, what you said. It is basically what you said. Man United are they're in as much shite as Leicester are at the moment. You don't know what Man United are going to turn up. Wreck-It Ralph is on the sack list, and it's at Leeds. And I don't think Man United are playing well at the moment. I've gone for a draw, to be honest with you.
No, so you sticking with that? You sticking with a draw?
I thought I would do.
Say we're on the way out, and as Mark says, Bell End Road. So you're going for a draw, okay? What have you put? Because you've not put a comment in. What you say? What did you say? You've gone for a draw as well. Oh, see, she's trying to copy you, Chris. So she doesn't. She's copying you.
Me and Kate, we're just at the top. Can I just say, Kate? If it had been me, I would have said, "What a nice end you've got," but Daniel didn't. And just.
To be fair, I can understand why it is. It's a game of importance, but it's one of them games that pretty much gets hacked up by the media, isn't it? And it could literally play out to be like the boringest 0-0 draw you've ever seen. I mean, I totally understand why, Chris, you'd go for a draw. I can understand now why you'd go for that one for United to win. Following up with that win against Brighton midweek.
Right, yeah, that's it.
This is a game with significant more importance for both sides, I think. Obviously, with West Ham being at home in the early kickoff, could Man United also be looking at that as well, thinking, come Sunday, we need to get the points to fight for that top 4 position. However, I cannot look. There's something telling me that I can't look past Leeds in this game. And that pains me to say, because they are sort of being sucked into where we are, being sucked into that bottom half. But it's Leeds versus United, and form goes out of the window. And I think I've got to favour the home side in this game. Ellen Road behind the crowd. I can't fault it. I'm going to have to go Leeds in this game. And I'm sorry now. I really am sorry.
No, it's okay, mate.
I mean, I've worn Man United pyjamas in the past, but that doesn't mean I'm going to wear Leeds ones on Sunday. Just saying. Have
you still got that picture?
I have. I haven't got it in the chat. I deleted it. I did delete it. Swiftly deleted it. I wanted to erase it from the memory. Chris says, so Batman came up to me and he hit me over the head the vase, and he went to pow. So don't you mean kapow? He said, no, I've got China in my hand. Hey, Chris, you will do stand-up soon, mate. Don't push too far your dreams, my friend.
I'll be on the stage, the first one out of here.
Niall went for Manchester United.
Yeah, correct, mate, yeah.
I went for a draw.
Chris went for a draw. I went for Leeds. So an even split. Doug says, crime in multi-story car parks. That is wrong on so many levels. Kate said, he doesn't like me. He tolerates me and avoiding what you're saying, Chris. Be the next Tinder swindler at this rate. I wish I fucking was, because I'm skint. Doug says, I bought some Armageddon cheese today and it said on the packet, best before end. And I thought I didn't live yesterday. Now that's wrong on so many levels.
No, that's not right.
Totally agree, Chris. Totally agree.
Do you know what always amazes me? You know, when you get a bottle of water and it went, got from Mountain Springs, 2,000 years old, best before March 2024. You know, I mean, it's like thousands of years old. But it's got a best. I don't get that.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of teams I don't get this season, and I think Chris knows where I'm coming from because we haven't mentioned his.
I don't know where you're coming at all. I mean, you pee in the corner. God knows where you come. What's right to troubles across the floor?
In the words of Lionel Richie, say you, say me. A tough game for your boys, Chris. I'll come to you first. It's you know, being a Leicester City fan, a trip to Molineux.
What did you have to put him on there for?
You know,
we've got a squad of 25, and you picked. I mean, you could have picked Vestergaard. Would have been better than him. Agreed, it would have been a total.
I'm not being funny, Chris. I'm not being funny, but I fucking did it on purpose.
I know, you bastard. I'm gonna get your channel banned now. Fuck.
To be fair, Chris. To be fair, Chris, he's wearing the sponsor of the club that we attend on Mondays, the Fat Bastard Society. No,
but he's actually on his shirt. It means fucking bloody shit. And then look, I mean that's the modern shirt. I mean, in this shirt, look at this. That was what you call a badge. Look at the size of that.
That's retro. That's retro.
That's a proper size badge. None of this little bloody pickly size badge.
It says sorry, Chris, but it may well be a Wolves win. Leicester are struggling at the minute.
You know, she gets you to like her, and then she kicks you between the balls, doesn't she? And there's no need for that, Kate. There's no need. No. That's
it with these Yorkshire lasses. Hard to get. Took me a while. Put it that way. Doug says, "How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it." Of course you do. Of course you do.
A boogie.
Right, back to football.
Are we boogie?
Yes, I like him boogie.
Now, just a quick question: are you Celtic or Rangers?
What for?
When it comes to, if you was to choose between the Glasgow derby, who would you back?
Both teams to get beat.
Both teams to get beat.
Because I support Motherwell, I can't really care anything. I know it won't. I know they can't get beat, but I couldn't really give a toss in the Old Firm. So
no, fair play. You know what? Fair play, because you know what? You're a Motherwell fan, so fair play. I can understand that. I can't expect you to pick sides.
What are you, Dan?
You what?
What are you?
Celtic.
We know what you are. You're a bloody twat after doing that picture up. But I mean, what are you when it comes to Celtic Rangers?
You know what? I prefer Celtic. And I will probably piss a few people off in the chat. I probably will with that. However, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's not a political view because I'm not Scottish, and I understand the Protestant Catholic, stuff and things like that.
That's the reason why I don't like them.
That's why for me I sort of stay out of it.
I don't agree with
if I was to just look at it as general football club, I just say Celtic. And in a way, as Kate said there, I do have a mate that supports Rangers. So it's always nice to just piss him off every now and again. Mm-hmm. However, I did go up when Burnley played Rangers in 2 pre-season friendlies when they were under Mark Warburton. Exactly, Ducky. You hit the nail on the head. Tonks. And we did tonk them as well. We certainly did tonk them as well.
Mark Warburton and a brag man.
Exactly. I mean,
Warburton Fred even.
To be fair, it was a good away day. I really enjoyed myself. However, not wearing a hat, I had no glasses because I had contacts on, and all I had was people telling me, "Jesus Christ, you're brave," looking like John Hartson in a Flaming Rangers bar.
He funnily enough nearly signed for Rangers like twice because I watched it in TalkSport.
Honest to God, being sat in that Rangers bar outside the stadium saying you look like John Hartson, you're lucky you're in here. Trust me, Arsenal going 20p, 50p. I'll tell you that for free. Doug says Leeds 1, Man United 3. Ducky says Celtic because he's a clown. Rangers all the way. To be fair, Ducky, I do get up at karaoke. I do like a nice sing-song of Penny Arcade by Roy Orbison. It is a good track.
And what about Tina Turner, Sample Your Best?
To be fair now, I'll call you when I need you because my heart's on fire.
Do you know what? I think I was 21 when this stream started.
Chris, I'm enjoying myself, you twat.
It's going on longer than a Nippon one. This is.
Yeah, but
Ducky says Wolves 0, Leicester 2.
You've got more faith than me, Ducky.
He definitely has.
The good thing I'm just hopeful I can afford another stream like nothing.
Has Doug gone down in your estimation there, Chris?
Doug never rose up in my estimation, to be honest with you. He doesn't go anywhere. Being a Liverpool fan, he always loses his wheels and tyres, doesn't he?
To be fair, he says, nah, Wolves 2, Leicester 0. So he's dropped it by 2, Chris.
I can see where he's coming from.
And Ducky says, Ducky's doing a what's he called? Jimmy Carr.
9 out of 10.
No, clean shaven.
I mean, Chris, come on. I mean,
first and foremost, back to this then.
First and foremost, take this Wolves game away. That Randers game. Like, first, I'll speak to you about that. Where did that performance come from? Because it was needed, wasn't it? And massively.
Yes, it was. And, it is only Randers. And no disrespect to them. They are, they are Danish Cup winners, exactly the same as us in the English Prem, but it is the Danish League. You can only play who you're drawn against, and they were, I think, the lowest UEFA graded club still in European competition, but you can only play who you're against, and, they didn't turn up against Forest, so there's no guarantee that we're going to turn up against Randers. At 1-1 at half time, I could see this being like, the end of the road. It was scary at 1-1, and it didn't deserve to be 1-1. We were, even in the first half, the better team. But typical Leicester, we don't keep a clean sheet. The last time we got a clean sheet, I think, was, Liverpool. We managed because Salah decided to play hit the bar rather than scoring a penalty. But the last time before that was actually Wolves on the opening day. So we're never going to keep a clean sheet. And it was a bit scary at half time. In the second half, we were actually doing everything that we hadn't done the rest of the season. Vestergaard, this is what you want to clip, Mike. Vestergaard actually had a good game. He was
on your channel, Chris.
Yeah.
And I was so close I literally, I took a swig of my brew at the time and I went, Whoa, did I just hear that right? I'm expecting him to come out with Perez as an absolute fucking world beater in the next 10 minutes.
Oh, no, let's not get silly. Come on. But no, he had a good game. He'd got the ball. And I tell you what, I saw a Vestergaard that I haven't seen before. He wasn't under pressure, and he needed that. Because remember, he's come from Southampton. He's come into a side that's had, I say, 9 defenders injured at some point during the season. So he hasn't come into a settled defence. Sometimes it's a back 3, sometimes 5, sometimes 4, depending which defenders happen to be fit. Yesterday, he needed a game like that against a team, and no disrespect to Randers, that weren't necessarily the same standard as us. And he did. He did very well, and he pinged some good balls out, and he played some good passes out of defence. We did. It was the performance as much as anything, because, we did play really, really well. And, of course, any win against anybody gives you confidence, and that performance hopefully has given them confidence. That said, we were up against a very, very good Wolves side. We beat them 1-0 on the opening day of the season, but to be fairness to them, had they had their shooting boots on, they would have beaten us, I think, that day. We was one of those like, we'll take it. blow your whistle, ref, and we'll run out while we still can. So, and I thought Wolves were going to struggle. I thought when they got rid of Nuno, I thought that's it. They're going to go, and they haven't. Large has come in, Large, whatever you call him. He's done a really good job. Fair play to Wolves. They're going to be very difficult. It's at their place. We just don't play well at their place. We haven't won at their place in the Premier League. And I don't expect that to change tomorrow. I've gone for a 2-2 because I will never say we will lose because it's my team. But I think Wolves, like I say, it's going to be a tough game. At last, I say, and I daren't say that finally this is Leicester, turning the season around, because we thought we did that when we beat Man United earlier in the season. Thought we'd done that when we beat Liverpool just before Christmas. False dawns, and now I am worried. But for me, it's a draw, I'm afraid.
Fair assessment, Chris. You know what? I commend you for that, because at the end of the day, you've sort of come out and said that as spirited as that performance against Randers was, you don't believe that, that's the catalyst to potentially pushing above beyond, because the way your season has gone, as I said to you previous, prior to that Liverpool game, when we was on your channel speaking with Steve Larnex in the predictions, I was saying that we can't expect the similar performance from that second half against Man United. In terms of also the fact of the performance against Liverpool. However, you can't base it on the fact of how well you did in the last game. Look at Man United. They might have beat Brighton, but when it comes to Leeds Man United, form goes out the window.
Yeah. And of course, what did we have? We had a defender injured.
Yeah.
It's like, God, for God's sake, did I kill someone in the previous life or something? What have God got against Leicester and our defenders this season? It was an impact. Hopefully, it was only a dead leg or something, and Sonshaw will be back. And of course, Maddison collapsed off the ball, which was very worrying. Especially when they came on and were sort of checking his pulse, because nobody saw it happen because it wasn't anywhere near the ball, and it was sort of like, oh my God. Thankfully, these days, they all know that if that happens, you just stop the game, whatever's happening, and get the physios on. He just felt a bit dizzy and just collapsed, and thank God he's all right with that. Yeah. But it's back to reality with this game. Randers, it was a little bit of a it's Randers. We got a lucky draw there. Hopefully we put it to bed at 4-1. I really hope we do. But I have been impressed with Wolves, and they're a difficult team to beat. We've never done it at their place as I said, in the Premier League. And if you were to give me now the 2-2 draw, would I take the point? We're like you, Dan. We need to get these draws into wins to get the confidence back. But if you gave me a 2-2 away to Wolves, I would bite your hand off now.
No, fair point, Chris. Now, how do you see this going? I mean, Wolves have sort of started putting a run of results together. They're fighting to get into that probably top 8 potentially.
Top 4 even.
Potentially. I mean, all it takes is them to have a bit of a blip, which is why I thought I'd extend it to that top 8. Tab even says here that Wolves are hard to score on, but have not scored much either. Only scored 21 all season, 1 times possible. I think Chris would take that as well. How do you see it now? With Wolves being the home side, it's a tough one because you'd sort of fare the home side in this game.
Yeah.
However, Leicester on the back of that result against Randers. I'm not being funny, Chris, and I know I'm trying to bring Niall in here, but every time that Kieran Dewsbury Hall has played, it seems like Leicester have a bit of fire in their belly, and if that may just be from the outside looking in, that just may be that. However, I'm not expecting him to be a Premier League player, but now.
He is. He was man of the match. Sorry now, but he was the man of the match.
No, he was. Yeah, of course he was.
And he's a product of the. I mean, he's 24, so he isn't like a youngster that's just broken through. He had last season at Luton, and he basically won every award going there. Fans Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year. He's a fantastic. He's young and he drives you forward. He hasn't got that sort of like, right, pause, what do I do? He has a go. He should have had a second goal last night, but for the foot of their goalkeeper was like outstanding. It could have been 6.
It could have been embarrassing. Could have been
really
embarrassing if their keeper were in form.
Yeah, when their keeper's probably man of the match, that kind of sums it up. But we're going to lose Tielemans at the end of the season, and I wouldn't say we would necessarily need to go out and spend millions on another player if, because Dewsbury Hall is going to come through. It's the same with Luke Thomas as well. When when we played West Ham, the only way you can compliment, that a players are having a good game if you force the opposing manager into having to make a substitution.
Yeah.
And Luke Thomas and Harvey Barnes down that left-hand side, it was like Brazil. And it forced Moyes into making a change. Problem with Brendan is you just, somebody can have a good game and then you don't see them. Chowdhury, when we beat Liverpool, had to play defender.
I was literally going to say the same thing to you, Chris.
Yeah. Midfielder, put him in defence, and suddenly thinking, actually, he could do a job there week in, week out. Brendan Rodgers came out and praised him, said, yeah, he's brilliant, and all picture with him showing off and everything. And not seen him since. He came on as a sub yesterday. That's the first time we've seen him. So you just don't know with Brendan, Hopefully he says, the way they played, stick with the same team, Brendan, because they played 90 minutes. They know where everybody should be. They're used to playing together. Get it. Just go for the same team.
No, a fair play. I'd stick with it. I'd stick with it, in my opinion, as well. Totally agree.
There were, Mike. You're quite right. Excuse me.
Now, away at Molineux, it's back to Premier League. The Premier League's a bit different to the Conference League. It's a different kettle of fish. It's a different tournament. I mean, I understand where Chris is coming from. That optimism of winning that game against Randers, and as he said as well, no disrespect to Randers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wolves are a team that they need to get a result against. Do you not think, to try and keep themselves in that top 10?
Wolves are like one of the teams are like hitting a miss as well, and they're trying to get into that top 10, if not in the top 4. For me, you've got Val Jimenez, who's back from that injury. I think it was a fractured skull. You've got Ruben Neves, you've got Yao Matinho, you've got Kilman, I think, the defender, and Connor Cody as well. And you've got a keeper of the season for me, Shah, I think his name is, isn't it? And you've got you've got a good team in paper. And in terms of Leicester, I know they're on the back of a European, like Europa Conference, whatever it's called, against 4-1 win over Randers. They've got Jose Tielemans, Kasper Schmeichel, Vardy, Alexei Iheanacho, they've got Harvey Barnes. Yeah, they've got good players as well. So in terms of this game, I honestly think Wolves will just exit 2-1 for me.
Not fair assessment. Fair assessment. Wolves to win is a decent one. I mean, I'm not that my dad's gonna smack my ass when he comes back from having a piss, but I do think I just think Leicester, in terms of Leicester's season, they need to take that win against Randers and follow it up with.
Do you think if Leicester lose, do you think Rodgers will get sacked?
No. I'm with Chris, and I've watched Chris's channel quite a bit now.
He's been on it quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Chris, I mean, I'm with Chris. I think similar with Burnley. If Burnley go down, I think Dash is the man to get Burnley back up. However, the team isn't strong enough, and he would need to change that. I think Rodgers has got the right mindset to change Leicester and get them back to what they were fighting for, which is staying in that top 5, fighting, even if I'm sure Chris would literally snap your hand off if he could accept 5th in the Premier League for the next 2 to 3 seasons. I think you would accept
definitely, that. Because for any club to end up in the top 4, you need some of the so-called big 6 to have dropped out.
Yeah,
now, the last couple of seasons, it's been Spurs and Arsenal. This season, it could be Man United, depending how their season goes. We've been there. I know we've thrown it away a couple of times. But to me, and I've said this before, when you look at Ferguson at Man United, how many years was he there? And then you say, well, how many teams did he have? And he actually probably had about 3 or 4 completely different teams because he changed them as he went along. Yeah. Maybe that's what we need to do. Now, Rodgers has come out today and he's actually said nowhere near finished at Leicester City. He said he's loved every second of his time at Leicester and that he's on a journey that is nowhere near finished. Now, we brought Brendan Rodgers in because we thought he was the best fit for the club. Not like Spurs, who brought in Nuno because everybody else said no to them. We wanted Brendan Rodgers. We approached Celtic. We wanted him before the end of the season. We paid the compensation. We got him. And that's how you do it. And he's great with the youngsters. Like we've just said, yes, Niall, I do. Sorry, I've just seen your message, you cheeky bugger. He's got a long-term project there. We've got the new training facility. We're going to have a new state-of-the-art stadium soon. That's going to start very, very soon. Literally, they've bought all the road up on that side, and they're going to build hotels, shopping centres, a brand new mega store. It's going places. Now, if we get rid of Rodgers, when do we get rid of him? Do we get rid of him now? What's the point? Somebody comes in. Yeah, you might get the odd 1 or 2 game bounce. But, how often does that go on to last very long? It doesn't. And, there's no transfer window for the new guy. He's got the same sort of players. Then he might have a different way of playing. So he's trying to get them to play another way. And the players are getting confused. Okay, so you get rid of him in January. Well, why? Because you've just wasted, or not wasted, because we've got 2 top 5 finishes and an FA Cup. But technically, all that building you've done over those 2 and a bit years, you've just ripped it up and thrown it in the bin. Because another guy's going to come in, he's going to say, don't like you, you don't play like I want to play, and you don't fit into my thoughts. And you're literally starting from scratch. And it's ridiculous. Now, everybody would say, well, this is Rodgers. It's his third season. It's his third season syndrome. It happened at Liverpool, etc. But has anybody given him the fourth season to turn it round? Liverpool,
no, that's true.
Liverpool had that bad season and they sacked him. But he'd got them to second place, for God's sake. That was the best they'd had for 30 years.
Yeah.
But a team, Liverpool had gone 30 years between winning. You can't just say, we have done amazing. And that's down. A little bit of it's down to Prel before because we got some of the youngsters through. But, we can't just throw that away. You've got to give him a chance. Otherwise, you're almost into Watford territory. And you've got to say, like I say, with Ferguson, to me, Alex Ferguson is probably the best manager there's ever been. All credit and all banter aside, what he achieved at Man United was just second to none. It was amazing. Because before that, they were no better than Chelsea or Arsenal, and they're back to that now. So when you had him, he was brilliant. And I know you came close to getting rid of him, but he was allowed to evolve the teams. Who would have thought he would have ever gotten rid of David Beckham? All these players that he slowly got rid of and replaced. The old famous quote, you don't win anything with children. Well, he did. Yeah. And I get annoyed with him. Of course, I do. I called him Brendan Bellend when he made that change at the against West Ham and conceded that last minute. We conceded that last minute goal. That was him, not any of the players. But managers are always going to have good games and bad games. But
no, of course,
a lot of the Leicester fans. Sorry, you see, you've started me off now.
It's fine, Chris. Keep going. It's not a problem.
This is getting into Rich's sort of territory here. 2.5 hours, isn't it? But you just can't keep swapping managers all the time. You've got to give them a chance to come out the other side. Now, next season, he'll have had a January transfer window. We know Tielemans is probably going to go. Ricardo's just signed a new deal extension, which is good news.
Yeah.
Hopefully one or two others will do. That's brilliant. Yeah, it's really pleased us. Harvey Barnes, I think, already had, and Dewsbury all already had. Now, Christmas next year, if we're no better off, maybe then you got to start asking questions. But give him that. I say, just because we've got no God-given right to finish fifth this year. Everybody thought we would do because of what happened. But we're starting to sound like Arsenal fans. We should be in the top four because we've always been in the top four. Well, Bobby, it doesn't happen like that. And every now and again, there's a season that comes along and keep. I mean, Liverpool, a couple of seasons ago, won everything going. The egg and spoon race, the three-legged race. If it was going, Liverpool entered it, they won it. The season after, they won nothing. Did they get rid of Klopp? No.
No.
So, and unfortunately, as fans, we're fickle, and the more success we get, the more success we have. But to me, I will criticise Rodgers if he has a bad game, if he makes bad substitutions, if he makes bad teams. We've got to remember 9 defenders injured and out at some point in the season. Liverpool complain when they lost Virgil van Dijk. We've got Vardy out now. But you haven't heard him complaining. He's never come out and blamed the fact that we've had so many players out. But it has. And when you actually take your blue tinted spectacles off and look at it, you've got to say, it hasn't all been done. Brendan's done as good as he could do with what he had available and what he's been through. Chris Florian, news at 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, no problem with that, Chris. Honestly, at the end of the day, as a Leicester fan, it's only right you get that off your chest, to be fair.
Rodgers can't go. Rodgers, and who would you replace him with?
Exactly.
Leicester fans have been out there saying, what about Ten Hag? He ain't going to come to Leicester.
No
way is he going to come to Leicester. If Ten Hag looks at it and goes, Manchester United want me, Leicester City want me, I know where he's going to go. Man United. They're the bigger club. Obviously,
No, I agree.
you go there.
I agree. To be
but
fair, Chris,
like I say, some fans, they win a few games and they think they're, brilliant.
To be fair, Chris, I mean, you've gone for the draw.
About 20 minutes ago, I do apologise.
No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. At the end of the day, it's your team, and when you're passionate about your team and everything that's going on at the moment, I can understand. I can understand what you're doing. I'm more optimistic than yourself in this game. I think that there's a very good chance Leicester may win this game. I just think that there's a bit of optimism in that fixture regarding the fact that you beat Randers. Why can't we do this? It's one of those performances like the manager goes in at half time and goes, "Why can't you do this every week? Why can't you win that game? Why can't you do this?" You're coming up against a spirited Wolves side. I get that. However, there's God knows how many games a season, right? Including all your cup competitions. You've got to go out and get the 3 points when it comes to league matters. And I think following on from that Randers match, there's got to be some sense of optimism.
I think Rodgers has tried to. He's a very good manager. Okay, you can question his tactics sometimes, but when we had COVID gate and party gate and all that, when the players were out having a party and they lied to him and what have you, there was nothing in the press. He basically just dropped them for a couple of games, and everybody knew why. Maddison didn't even travel to West Ham, but he was not coming out in the press or saying anything. But the other week after that Forest game, I think it was enough for him to come out and actually for once say, "I'm not happy." I'm not, and I think a couple of those players were a little bit shocked at that.
No, I'm with you. Doug says, "Sorry to say, Chris, but Leicester have done amazing the last few seasons."
Yeah.
He also said, "Brian Laws was a disaster of a manager, Dan." Then Dash comes in. Burnley took the cheap option when Brian Laws came in. Absolute fucking farce of a decision.
Get Stan Kernan back. That's what I say. Bring back the Stan.
You know what? It's stupid, but I would take Stan back just because of his passion, because he loves the club. Yeah. Nathaniel says Chris hates Watford more than Dewsbury Hall does.
I'm not sure who I hate more, Watford or Norwich, but I'm sorry, Nathaniel. I mean, I used to like Watford. It's just the way that you are at the moment,
Doug says Liverpool were never going to get rid of Klopp. Exactly. We have had to have a bad season eventually. I agree.
Yeah. Is it? Exactly.
Doug, Mark says we're going to make it to 3 hours. Who gives a shit? We're enjoying ourselves, Mark.
I'm enjoying it, mate.
We are enjoying ourselves. Doug says you're doing the 4 midweek games. Yes, we will touch on the midweek games. You know what? Sod it. We're here for 3 hours. Let's do the midweek games as well. Do you have all this season's kits, Chris? Mark says.
I have. Yes, the 3. I don't have the goalkeepers kits. I never buy those, but this is an old one. The problem is, right, I've got 2 more shirts coming today. And the problem is that half the time now, Leicester, I reckon they do it just for me, but they're bringing out a load of retro shirts. And I look at that thinking like, I've still got that. Doesn't fit me because I bought it 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago when I was actually slim, and now I'm fat and I'm the one that ate all the pies. It doesn't fit me. So I can now order the same shirt 4 sizes bigger or whatever. And it's costing me a bloody fortune.
I mean, that is the end fixture of the weekend. I mean, Wolves-Leicester is the last game of the weekend. However,
the best still last. That's what I say.
Chris. Yes. Exactly, Chris.
The Man United Leeds is just the warm-up, Niall, for the Leicester Wolves. Yeah. And to be honest with you, we do know that even when they go over to the Leicester Wolves game, that Sky will probably still be talking about Man United.
Leeds
we
versus
know
Man
it.
United is
We
like the
know it.
punch and Judy before the main event, Chris. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about it. I mean, we will touch on the midweek games. I wasn't intending on doing. However, we're here. Why not? The beer's flowing. We're enjoying ourselves. We're living the dream.
Yes.
We are living the dream.
And we can nip off and have a pee in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. You can treat yourselves.
You can always treat yourself by going to the toilet whenever you get.
Yeah. Well, no, you've held on longer. You've won. You've held on longer than us.
Yeah, you have won.
Yes.
You have won. You have held it the longest now. You have done pretty well. You have won that. You know what?
Yes.
Fair play. Fair play.
Yes. My bladder is not what it used to be.
I mean, now, if you wanted to take yourself off for a piss, feel free, my friend. Feel free.
Don't even need one.
that just showcases how bad Tennent's is as a drink. If it doesn't make you want to break the seal.
If I got fucked one gang, I might have needed one gang.
The other option, of course, is just to buy a commode, then you don't have to move.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is fine. I mean, he didn't have to move. He turned the camera off because when he goes for a piss, he has this sort of like awkward grin. It's like,
yeah, you know, the pushing one out look on your face, you know.
As you do when you go for a piss, there's always that little fart at the end of it.
Oh,
however,
the worst is the fart at the start of it because that's what splatters the bowl.
Well, Chris, at your age, you can't trust a fart.
No, that is very true. Unfortunately,
very true.
Unfortunately, as you know, due to an illness I had a few years ago, I've got to take a load of tablets, and one of them, the side effect is it gives you bad wind. So you never know when that.
So it's your fault for this fucking weather, then. It's your fault for this.
Indeed.
So it's Storm Chris. Storm Chris is outside with its dodgy wind, is it?
It certainly is. Wet and windy. That's the one.
Now I've not done the graphics for anything midweek.
Oh, you lazy bugger.
Yeah, I fuck the system, right? Doug said, do you fancy doing the midweek games? Are you doing the 4 games midweek? I wasn't, but sod it. Let's throw them in there. There's only 4 of them, and we do start with Burnley against Spurs. And to be honest with you, depending on how we get on,
again.
Depending on how we get on against Brighton, I don't know. I mean, it's the fact that it's the back at the turf that sort of G's me up a little bit. How do you see that one going during the week?
Yeah, give me a Chris.
Not yourself now, yeah.
All right,
I've got hiccups. Come back to me.
Yeah, no bother, mate. Depends what happens in the weekend games. I don't know. I think Spurs will probably win this game. I'm going to go for Spurs Burnley, isn't it? Am I right? Is that the right game?
Yeah. Burnley against Spurs. Yeah, Burnley the home side. Can I just say now as well, Miss Melina, big up the panel in the chat. Miss Melina, thank you for tuning in. Really does mean a lot. Hope you are well. Canada all the way and all that. Honestly, absolutely amazing. Thank you for tuning in. It really does mean a lot, Melina. Thank you very much. Tab Healy says Rodgers is fine by me. Sometimes you have to point out when your players play like they don't care. Kate says, if you didn't know, we are living the dream.
More of a nightmare at the moment, isn't it?
Doug says, Chris, do you think Leicester will sign Lookman on the permanent? I think he will.
I hope so. The problem is that whoever we get on that side of the pitch is always going to be likened to a certain Mahrez. But Lookman, he does play well and he can play both sides. So I hope we do sign him. Yes.
No, fair point. Going back to you now, how do you see that Burnley Spurs game going?
Like I was saying, it depends on the results at the weekend, which is going to happen tomorrow and Sunday. And a tough one because I know Burnley are not firing all cylinders and are struggling and they are where they are. So I think Spurs will win this 2-0 because Spurs are going well under Conte, who's got great passion. So Spurs to win 2-0 for me.
To be fair, I'm looking at this game, Chris, as I look back to 2009. I look back to 2008. Sorry, as well. 2008. We went to Spurs in the cup. We went to Spurs away. We did shit in the cup semi-final. We had a mountain to climb. We brought it back to the turf. We took it to extra time. 2 minutes away from Wembley Carabao Cup final, as it is now. We were calling cup at the time. Sickening. First time I cried as a Burnley fan. However, 2009, at the end of that season, we got promoted. We was already relegated. We played Spurs at the turf. They went 2-0 up. We ended up beating them 4-2, even though we were a relegated side. Conte at the moment, it seems in a sense that there is a weakness in that Spurs side. And I know you're not Spurs' biggest fan. This is the game where I'm really hoping you will say Burnley get something.
Do you know what? You've got to go back 15 years to actually say that this is what we can get. Unfortunately, Dan, we won the Premier League in 15-16, but we haven't done it since. My feelings towards Spurs, but unfortunately, every time I predicted Burnley in the predictions, they've always let me down. So, you've like I say, you've won one all season.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, we have to do it honestly. Now, Vegas or whatever it's called could start getting goals and go on an amazing run. Spurs, who did they have? Did we say they were going to lose midweek? The weekend? Yeah, so they got Man City. And I guess this is a rearranged match, is it? That was cancelled.
Yeah. The Burnley Spurs game is the game that was rearranged when there was heavy snowfall in Burnley.
Conte will be absolutely peed off that he lost against Man City, which we think they will do. Unfortunately, I can't see. I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be very, very close.
Might change it.
Draw. You might get a draw, but I am going for a Tottenham win. I'm sorry.
No, fair shout. You're going for a Tottenham win. Niall, who did you go for in that Burnley Spurs game? Sorry.
2-0 to Spurs.
2-0 to Spurs, dirty bastard.
Sorry, mate. I just had to go for it, I think.
No, that's a fair point. Absolutely fair point. The game against Spurs, I can't see. I would happily take a point at the turf as long as we get 3 points against Brighton. Happily take a point against Spurs. You can put me down for a draw in that game. Swiftly moving on to the second game of them four. Watford against Palace now. Watford at home, still a nothing side, aren't they, Watford?
Yeah.
Palace have been better. If you look at form sides away from home, Palace are one of those sides that away from home are the better team.
Yeah, for me, like I was saying previously, it depends on the results over the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, and possibly a Monday night game. No, I don't know. Watford, for me, it might be like another yo-yo club, like a Norwich City, in my opinion. So I think Palace will win this 2-0 because I've got players like Oscar Edward, who's at Celtic, like I was doing earlier. You've got Media, you've got Wilfred Zaha, Conor Gallagher, who will be back for that game. I can't play against Chelsea at the weekend there. I think Palace will win this game 2-0.
Not fair point. So you're going for a Palace win against Watford?
Yeah.
Nice one. Chris,
I'll give you one guess as to which way I'm going to go with this.
Kate, please just put Chris down for a Palace win.
Moving on.
Palace, moving on now.
I mean, to be fair, Chris, it's quite self-explanatory, isn't it?
I can't. I said what I've got to say about Watford. I'm not going to start again, otherwise we'll still be here at 4 a.m. But I'm sorry, you know what I'm. So it's a Palace win. Palace win for me.
No point beating around the bush.
No.
Myself,
You don't get anything for beating the bush, do you?
No, definitely not. I'm going to go for Palace myself. I think Palace win this as well. I think Palace will be too strong against Watford, even if they are the away side. Moving swiftly on, we have the Canal Derby. I say the Canal. It's not much of a derby, but I say the Canal Derby. Opposite ends of the canal, we have we have Liverpool against Leeds. I mean, where are those 3 points sailing now? Where do you see it going?
I think, like I've talked about as well with Liverpool, I think it will be the quality with the front three with Mo Salah, Daniel Mane, Diego Jota. Bobby Firmino could come on from the bench, could be an impact player. Liverpool have got absolute balls in their team, where Leeds, you've got Rafinha, Bamford probably injured or maybe coming back from injury. You've got, I don't know if Calvin Phillips will be back for this. You've got, what's his name? Yeah, can't remember anyway, but I think I'm edging towards Liverpool, and I think Liverpool will win this game 3-0.
3-0 Liverpool. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a tough one, Chris, because if Leeds get the points against Man United, you'd expect them to have a sense of optimism against them. However, Liverpool have got something to fight for. If Manchester City drop points at the weekend, Liverpool must win this game. How do you see it going against Leeds? I mean,
Liverpool win. It's at Anfield. It's a Liverpool win.
Fair point. Melina's in the chat saying hi to everyone. So if anyone wants to get their comments in, get them in. Melina's saying hi to you all. Absolute legend is Melina. Please do get your comments in, get your predictions in. Diego says the Palace away fans will give Roy a good reception. We still love the old fellow. Yeah, he did. He did do a lot for your club. He really did. Kate says Liverpool win. Rich is in. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? I have been looking for you.
Stop pinching my jokes. Stop pinching my jokes.
Funnily enough, Rich, you have turned up just prior to midnight.
I've been hiding.
You know what? I've been waiting for you, and I've been waiting for you all night. If that doesn't say anything,
Rich is just easy, isn't
Chris?
Like
that does not say anything. You know what? I've waited for him that long. He's my endless love.
I've been hiding for like 3 hours, never off.
Diego says evening, Miss Melina. Matt says hi, Nippon. Your face rivals, Devil Team. Oh, I can do it. Big up, Melina. Hope you're well. Completely agree with you, Rich. Jota is injured. Used to go out with an anaesthetic. She was a local girl. Rich says he hope we win. Liverpool 2-0 against Leeds. You can only hope. Kate, what's your prediction for that, Liverpool Leeds?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you did say, sorry, I do go back.
Yeah,
stop tapping your screen, you wench. Liverpool win. She's gone for.
Is that a euphemism for something?
I have gone back. I do apologise. The last game of midweek. Arsenal against Wolves.
Oh.
Now, Arsenal are at home in this fixture, just in case Nippon is watching. Arsenal are the home side.
But they are big rivals, aren't they?
They're massive rivals. Absolutely massive. Yeah. Absolutely massive. You know, if a wolf wraps its mouth around a cannon, Who wins? Nobody knows.
Better
Matt
say that
says,
to all the boys.
you know what? When you said that, you reminded me of that song by Meatloaf. When he goes, do you offer your mouth to the wolf with the red roses? I bet you say that to all the boys.
True.
It is true. Speaking of which, Nippon is in. He's gone, I tell you what, for a bloke that hates Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. He has gone for in that Arsenal.
Nippon, you go right back to the start. Jesus. I got to get my pajamas on.
Apparently, according to Kate, if my calculations are correct, I have not given my prediction for the Liverpool-Leeds game. The Canal wins, because either way, both are at either end. No, I think Liverpool have got this. Liverpool have got this in the bag.
Yeah,
Liverpool win that one. But yeah, in terms of Arsenal Wolves, go to you now. Max says a bit late for that one, Nippon. And now he's hold on. Whoa. Fucking rewind. Right. We have this.
Rewind that.
We have this. We have that. I mean,
Nippon's obsessed with Arsenal, isn't he?
Somebody clap that.
I think he's a secret Arsenal fan.
It must be where that must be where his Wi-Fi signal is the strongest.
Again, loves Sam Boats for some reason.
Chris says I went to a Pretenders concert as a tribute act.
Okay.
Max says Chris, eagle-eyed thought Nippon actually thought I was a musician.
Can we use Mike's real name? I think we should use Mike's real name, Arse Bandit.
Arse Bandit is in the house.
Yeah.
Just missed about 11 games, Nippon. Kate says I chose Arsenal to win. Diego says Arsenal recently won away at Wolves, but I have a strong feeling Wolves may return the favour. Arsenal 0, Wolves 1. Arsenal to win, Daniel. Kate says, Daniel, if you didn't know Arsenal, why are you taking the piss? I'm not pissed. I know what you're saying. Tab says, might be the hardest call of all. I am dying for a piss again. Wolves 1-0. And then as she goes again, the arse bandit comes in with Arsenal to win.
She's the Rod Fanny.
Chris.
Yes.
I'm going for a piss. Your thoughts on the game? Talk to now. Oh, look at that. Hey, muscle top.
He'll be back in a second. He's only got to go to the corner. What did you go for, Niall?
I haven't said it yet.
You haven't? Oh. You finish then, because he was talking to you. You finish your bit.
Right, okay. To be honest, it depends on the weekend games. Depends how Arsenal get on against Brentford and depends how Wolves do against Leicester. For that game, Arsenal have not been firing on all cylinders. Yes, I know they won against whoever it was they were playing. I know apparently they want their manager out wherever they finish in the league, wherever it's top 4.
They beat Wolves actually last time out.
Yeah, that's who it was. That's who I can remember. So for that game, I think Wolves could beat them like 2-1 for me. Because Wolves have been doing really well and have impressed me. So I think Arsenal will lose her. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolves.
I think, as you said, or somebody else said,
coming out there. Oh, for God's sake.
You don't know where that bush has been.
I do.
To me, this is probably the hardest game. They're sort of Arsenal are 6, Wolves 7. Arsenal have won 3 of the last 5. Wolves have lost 4 of the last 5. You say Arsenal beat Wolves last time, but this is This is at Arsenal. I'm struggling with this one, which means I'm going to have to go for a draw.
Where'd you put it?
I'm just going to check now, young Michael.
So you're going with Arsenal, Chris?
Yes, Mike. I am going to go.
See how far I've gone.
No, I went for the draw.
You've gone for the draw. Fair enough. Fair enough. This is what happens, guys, when this stuff is live. We are over 3 hours. You know what? I've enjoyed my bloody self tonight. I needed this. I'll be honest with you guys. I really did. I've had a bit of a couple of shitty days.
Yeah, me
couple
as
of
well,
shitty
mate.
days. I needed this laugh. Niall, who did you go for regarding Arsenal?
To be honest, like I was saying to Chris when you went for your comfort break, Arsenal for me, I've not been firing all cylinders, and you've got these Arsenal fans saying even if they finish in the top 4 or outside it, they want a manager to get sacked, and apparently they don't want him to sign a contract, if I'm correct. And I think that was a bad move for letting Aubameyang go to Barcelona on loan. That for me should have been sorted and dealt with behind closed doors or in the changing room, whatever. So for me, I went for Wolves to win 2-1. I think Wolves could beat Arsenal.
Wolves?
Yeah, 2-1.
Fair shout. Fair shout. You know what? I'm gonna sit on the fence with that. Sit on the fence with that result. I'm gonna go for a draw. I just think. Yes, Chris. I really, really am. I mean, to be fair, I just think Arsenal being the home side. Hold on. Yeah. Swiftly moving on. Should have proofread that one, Chris. Cheers for that. Why did the tomato turn red? It saw the salad dressing. Mark says he would need a map for that. Oh, definitely. Mate, if you literally take this off, scrunch my head up, honestly, it's like the map for Prison Break. It says, you know, he loves tarping. His fingers are busy. If they're not busy on there, they're busy doing something else. You know, I'm not very good at magic and only know half a trick. I'm a member of the magic. Oh. That one's sharp but funny, Chris. It's funny because it's shit.
I can imagine the big cube.
That one's funny because it's shit, Chris. That's the best thing about it. Doug says, why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he had. Oh, Doug.
Oh, mate.
I'm not being funny, but have you been shopping today, mate? You've well been out, bought yourself a pack of penguins, and you are literally reading the back of them bastards like no tomorrow.
It's amazing what you pick up when you go out, isn't it?
Pick up. Doug says, where do snowmen keep their savings? In the snowbank. Correct. Kate says, which fingers are he using though? His original. Kate, get a grip.
Come on, Kate. Get my drink.
Yeah. See, as Niall said, get me a drink. She's took it away. Look, I've got Coca-Cola bottles. I've got Chris here. I've got the father. I've got the son. Right here.
Right.
Father and son, right there.
If you really were my son, I'd have drowned you at birth.
Yeah, of course you would. Wait till pictures crop up on Facebook.
Or Twitter or Instagram.
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not adding you on Facebook.
Chris does say toilet.
No, that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Busy with his mic, or is it a microphone? I agree. Chris does tend to say that it is a Leicester Till I Die branded condom that he's speaking into. Look at that. Look at the way. Can you hear that? Let's just appreciate. Chris, rub your condom for us. Come on.
These are available. These are available in the Leicester Till I Die shop. It's a pack of 5, and one of them's got a hole in it. It's the Russian roulette specials.
Doug says, why did the giraffe get such bad grades? He always had his head stuck in the clouds. It could have been worse. He could have been an ostrich, couldn't he, Chris?
He could indeed.
Yeah,
he could indeed. Kate says, carry on, and I'll poke you with my rusty spoon.
Oh, you've been told.
Say no more, say no more.
I love it when she talks dirty.
I always wonder if there's a script or swear to God, there is nothing. There is what is this channel good for? Absolutely nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Andrew says, what the fuck, still going?
Yeah, mate.
We're trying to get him shut down. That's what it is.
Doug says, I tried to catch the fog yesterday. Missed. That's a good one. I'll give you that one, Doug. I'll give you that one. Kate says, I took the whiskey away because she told me to.
Oh, no.
I might have one for the road when I come off camera, put a bit of music on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kate, you lucky girl, you.
Oh, you're right.
Hey. A bit of the old same station music, eh?
There you go, Chris. There you go. There it is.
You say that every time. Just when we're on our own, you normally say that, Mike, not when we're in company.
I know.
Say that with a Welsh accent, and it sounds, woohoo.
Chris, which one? What was it called? The one, the Babe Station one. What was it?
I don't know. 'Cause I'm not on that one. It's midnight. It's a love. Oh, read them out to me. I'll tell you.
You've got acoustic something, dance pop, daydreaming, feeding the
daydreaming.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. And no sooner as it says, Chris, Mark's comment says it all.
Oh, fuck's sake, Mark. Oh, Lord.
There you go. There you go. Honestly, you don't need a Scoville unit. That's Chris's Scoville unit for how hot this chat is getting. Nippon says, what do you call a blind venison? No idea. That's good. Hey, Nippon. Fair play for getting involved, Nippon. I'll give you that. I will give you that, Nippon. Fair play. Chris says, I used to think sticks and stones could break my bones, but words could never hurt me. So the thing is, Chris, the best thing about that is you've worked for many a printing company, so that's funny.
No. I've worked for newspaper companies.
Yeah, they still go to print, don't they?
Not like the old days. When I started working in the newspaper industry, it was all computerized.
No, I know, Chris. When you worked for printing company, they had to chisel it into stone, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but I was at Burnley at the time, and they are like sort of 70 years behind the rest of the country. I mean, let's be honest with you. The M65 when it goes through Burnley is cobbled.
That's true. Doug says, right, guys, I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys soon. Doug, fair play, my friend. Fair play. Andrew, say no more. Say no more.
Michael Gash, he's a footballer.
He is. Yeah. A bloody good one and all. Mark says, are you copying and pasting these jokes? Nat, Doug, good old tunes, That's it. It's the perfect hour. We're past the preview. We're prime time. Max at Fame Station calling all platinum members. Enjoy the night.
I bet you used to type the 3-5 minutes every night until you got like an hour's worth that you could just watch all in one go. And if you were lucky, that you that was the night to forget to unscramble it.
I have to turn it off. It's putting me off. I actually want to get my kit off.
Do like confirmation.
Diego says, "Are we past the watershed?" Put it one way, we've passed more than water. Half of us have been for many, many more than
Did
that.
you want to go to the toilet earlier, Niall? You've never been.
No, I've not been. Don't need it.
Mark, I didn't ask the question about what you were watching, but thank you for letting us know. Thank you very much. I am surprised. I am surprised you
adult
get that.
section in Welsh. Bah.
I'm surprised they get that there, to be fair. You know, Guantanamo is quite a way away. I'm surprised they get a signal for that. You know what? Let's wrap this shit up. We are 10 minutes over the 2
Well, let's go for 4 hours. Come on. Let's go through the night.
Let's, you know what? Sorry, I've not even reached 500. Let's do the 320 odds challenge. Let's pop 9 paracetamol and see how that goes, shall we? Let's see what happens. No, I'm only joking.
Go out on a high.
No.
I'm only joking. Mike says, damn, what a show. Yeah, you know what? It has been
missed that then, didn't you?
What was that, Chris? Sorry.
I said go out on a high.
Cracking. I like that. I like it. I do like it.
Not a lot, but I like it.
Yeah, I got back at Bailing double.
You know, fight amongst yourselves who wins that one. No, honestly, we will wrap this up. We will get it wrapped up because it has now been. It's now midnight. Jesus Christ! I say Jesus Christ, or to dumb it down, or to slow it down. Brad. Jesus Christ.
Bengals.
Brad. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Chris. Nothing wrong with that. Guys, everybody has been absolutely fantastic. Everyone in the comments. Andrew, Mark, Kate, Ducky, Diego, Doug. Chris has been in the chat, even though he's been on the stream as well. Nippon. Just, you know, there's too many names to mention. Too many to mention. You've been absolute legends as per usual. All I can say is you've been absolutely amazing. First and foremost, now, thank you very much. I know you've been wanting to come on for ages. It's been a laugh. I've got this. This is the longest stream I've ever done, mate. This is the longest stream I've ever done. And you know what? I need tonight is the night where I needed this the most.
I'm saying, mate, the Gaga shit to you each few guys as well, mate. So I need to go tonight.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with having a laugh.
We just couldn't shut Niall up, could we? Once he got go out, joking, mate. Joking.
Yeah, right, mate.
No, I'm joking.
Now, you've been absolutely cracking. You know, everybody in the comments, everybody that's watched tonight, absolutely fantastic. Now, please let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me anywhere you want, mate. You can. Yeah, fuck about. Thanks for having me on. Really enjoyed it. A great laugh, great bit of banter with yourself and Chris. Yeah, you can find me on the Twitter handle, which should be on the screen, at NiallKane91. Find me on Instagram, Niall_Kane. Facebook at Niall Kane. Twitch, NiallKane91. Yeah, thanks very much again.
No, anytime, Niall. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you for coming on. Chris, where can people find your stuff? Because you've been, as you say, you're here every Friday doing your community service.
I think I finished it tonight. Absolutely. I think I'm owed some time back.
To be fair, Chris, you know what? I'm sorry for keeping you. I know. You know, you've had the nurses in the background of the care home telling you need to take your tablets, and I've kept you longer than that.
They're under the table. Carry on, love. Thank you.
It's medicinal. It's medicinal.
Quick impersonation of Dan. I'm nearly there.
No, Chris, where can people find you? Because you're an absolute legend.
I'm doing my George Michael impersonation outside the gents' toilets. But, allegedly. I am on this channel more often than I want to be. I'm on my channel, which is Leicester Till I Die TV. I'm on other things as well. Twitter at Leicester TID and Instagram Leicester Till I Die 1.
Absolute legend, Chris. Absolute legend, Niall. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Guys, if you want to catch this every Friday, we are up for a laugh. You know what? I may potentially start introducing a quiz to this. We'll try and zoom through the predictions and just have a laugh. Just general, not even football quiz questions, Chris. Chris, don't worry. It won't just be general football quiz questions. It'll be about ABBA as well. Don't worry. We'll throw that in there for you.
Do you know who is a ledge? The guy who invented windowsills.
Love it. Guys, you've been absolute legends. Everybody in the chat, everybody that's been on the chat. Now, first class, as usual. We will get you on again. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no problem.
Chris,
I'd love to come on again.
Oh, you definitely. Chris, I'm sure you'll be back next Friday, and I know full well we will be speaking. It's getting to a point, mate, where I'm thinking about doing a live watching paint dry with the way Burnley are playing, so don't worry about it.
I know, we're doing that joint watch along, but it's all going to be one-way traffic, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I have to laugh at Mark's comment. Morning, everyone in the chat and panel.
Happy Saturday.
Saturday.
Says, thank you. Andrew says, lol, yeah. Mark, throw questions in about the cavemen for Chris. Andrew's having a laugh.
Just watch it off, Bandit. Okay, just watch it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Fingers crossed it's on tomorrow. I'm sure by no doubt there will be a couple of games probably called off due to the weather tomorrow. Yeah. Whether it's in the Premier League, maybe not, but we will see.
Or the FPL, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you've probably got it bad up north. You've probably got it really bad up north.
Really bad up here.
I mean, it's that bad that it's blown Alexander into a 2-game suspension on the touchline for Motherwell.
Nothing's off. They've not announced anything's off yet, by the way.
No. I think they'll probably do pitch inspections, maybe. I mean, the Sheffield Wednesday Accrington Stanley game the other night only got called off last minute due to waterlogged pitch. And I know that was League One. However, weather conditions in the Premier League, we will see what happens.
But can I just say that if Burnley's called off tomorrow, it won't be because of storm, whatever it is, because you've pissed in the corner flag.
Yeah, typical. I better not go for a piss at a Burnley game. I'll have to call off to a waterlogged pitch.
I remember the toilets at the Burnley game. It was just a hole onto the pitch.
And that's only if a kid went for a piss. Chris, Niall, absolute legends. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for tuning in, putting your comments in. We will be back very, very soon with another video. In fact, we will be back Monday, Chris, where I will be appearing on your channel to review the Premier League games of this weekend.
Oh God, yes, I'd forgotten about that.
See?
Yes.
See? I will be over on Leicester Till I Die TV. The link for Chris's channel is in the description. As you can see there, Chris is a nun with Tourette's. However, I will be over there on Monday. Tuesday, we will be having a match preview with a Spurs fan prior to our game on Wednesday. And then after that, I will be over on Statman Stubbs, Steve Stubbs' channel to talk, pretty much do the same thing as I've done on Chris's channel, review this weekend's games. We have the game on Wednesday against Spurs, so fingers crossed as well we can get the results in that. And then prior to the weekend against Palace, we probably will have a match preview for that as well, where I'm sure as hell Rich will be well and truly up for it.
I'll be watching
that. That should be a laugh. And however, I'm sure Rich will try and get me to come on to... I'm sure Rich will try and get me to come on to Eagle Eyed Football as well. So do go check out his channel as well. Guys, you've been an absolute blast. Now, Chris, can't ask any more from you. Legends, as per usual. You've made my weekend.
Thank you very much.
Don't worry, I'm going to
Once it
transfer
goes
the 40
past
quid.
midnight, it's double time.
Don't worry, I will transfer
Make
the
sure you
40
get paid,
quid.
Niall. Make sure you get paid.
Andrew says, snow an issue too up north. Yeah, good shout. Andrew says,
I think soon, I think.
yeah.
Sure.
Terrace integrity issue.
Terrace what? Terrace what?
Terrace integrity issue on some older stadiums. Jack says, have a great night, guys. Thank you, Jack. Honestly, if you've stuck with us since the beginning, Jack, fucking legend, can I just add as well. Absolutely cracking, mate.
At least you could read that one out properly.
Kate says, great stream. Good night, guys.
Good night, Kate. I'll be up in a minute.
Love it, Matt. I said nothing. I said nothing about what did you what does that say? What did you origami, Dan? Just mate, I said nothing, mate. I said nothing. Guys, you've been absolute legends. It's been
is he paused?
Quite a few people's evenings as well. People are saying that to us. He's going to be able to tuck you in, Kate. Diego says, unbelievable. And Jack is laughing his tits off by it. Guys, you've been absolute legends. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel. Really does mean a lot. You are absolute legends, every single one of you that appear in the chat. As I say, as the channel grows, the content will get better, which means Chris will finally get filtered out. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens. You can catch us in the next 10 minutes on Babe Station, where we will be live. We will be live, but however, thank you very much. That was our predictions. It's been a blast. Good luck to Leicester.
That was a longer goodbye than what was on Titanic.
Honestly, good luck to Leicester, Chris. Good luck to Manchester United now. Burnley need all the fucking luck in the world.
You know I got a soft spot for Burnley.
We need all the luck in the world.
Of the garden.
It's just a bit harsh, Chris, when too many people have said I don't believe in fairies. So that's it. Burnley are down.
And you just let me down so many times, mate, when I've gone for you. So, but good. Yeah. You know, I do have a soft spot seriously for Burnley. So, I just
fair point.
You go down, you'll probably come back up. So,
fair point. You guys have been legends. Comments have been absolutely cracking. You've all been absolutely amazing. Chris, legend as always. Top dad. Top brother from another mother. Now, just keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're an absolute legend. You know what? Fair play, absolute legend. You know what? We may need subtitles, but you're a fucking top great guy. So
thank you.
Keep it going. Keep them tenants coming, because the more you drink, the more you sound, the more we can understand you.
Yeah, actually.
Because the Scottish is slowed down when you drink.
I know, I need to slow it down a wee bit.
Yeah, back to not a clue. Guys,
all the best, Niall.
Please, this legend here and this legend here, go check them out. The links are in the description. They're absolutely amazing, as you can see.
This legend here, avoid at all costs. He's honestly. I tell you, I talked to him once and I can't get away from him now.
You know what? I was going to put this up, but technically I just look like a guy in front of a police camera. And can you turn to the side, please? And to the other side.
Text me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, he does. Are you awake? Fucking am now.
Everyone's saying, Daniel, think you should go to bed now. No chance. Love this show, guys. Night/morning. Burnley need a miracle. They definitely do. Juice, scenes if I was onto that. Jack, I am going to get you on. I am going to get you on. Don't you worry about it. So,
we're going to do a quiz, Jack. I'm going to have a quiz for you.
There will be subtitles for this. There will also be subtitles when I get Jack on as well. Dan knew he'd get the subtitles on. I do think so. Do you know? Pepper. Yeah, you know what? I'll leave you with it. There you go. There it is. There it is. Not so much Pepper Pig, but there he is. Daddy
All
Pig.
man. That's all man.
Oh, man. It's all paid for. There is enough KFC in those titties to make you realise that it's all paid for.
That's
However-
training bra boobs, mate. That is. Wait till you get up to a C cup like me. Then you've got something to show off.
Guys, you've been absolute legends. Thank you very much. You two above. As I said, links are in the description. See you guys very, very soon. We'll be back with another video, and fingers crossed we get the 3 points this weekend. Take care, stay safe, and see you guys very, very soon.